Well, good evening, everybody. How are you this evening? They dropped a patch tonight, so I thought we would do a little testing on it. And so off we go. I will tell you that I am happy to do a little testing tonight. I did a little testing earlier. I thought that it was in a little better shape than my last testing, but of course, let me preface this with, you never do know. This is a 3.17 PTU patch. I was able to see some minables, and I actually did a little bit of ROC mining earlier, and it seemed like it was working okay. So I thought we would do a little testing tonight on the mining loops, and we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, a late one for sure. A lot later than I'd normally do any kind of streaming. So we'll hopefully some of you will keep me awake as we chat our way through some of this stuff. All right, well, in we go. I definitely know I'm going to need to go and grab something to drink. One of the things that's kind of interesting is that the drinking stuff seems to be a little persistent. Now, when you first kind of get into a PTU, it is a touch choppy, but it does kind of usually kind of dig its way out here. And it was, yeah, I played it for a little while earlier, and it was pretty smooth. So we'll have to see how tonight goes. Like I said, it's definitely later than I normally do stream. And we're just going to go ahead and enjoy ourselves and do a little bit of mining tonight. So different types of mining, maybe a little ROC mining, hopefully a little prospecting, maybe a little hand mining. So my goal is to try and hit all the loops if I can. And I will call some elevators here and take a look. Now this has happened before in the PTU where I couldn't get an elevator out of a hab, so give it a moment. And I may have to log out and switch servers here. So, good evening, Chris. How are you? Chris says, "What up, my peeps?" Remoyne, how you doing, sir? Nice to see you. Yeah, you did catch it tonight. It's a little late here, but they dropped a patch, so I thought we'd do a little testing. And so, right off the bat, I can see we're off to the races here. I can't get out of the hab. So, it's funny. I did a little testing earlier, and it seemed to be working pretty good. So we may have to jump servers here in just a sec and see if we do a little better. And I think we'll probably go ahead and do that here in just a moment if we don't get lucky. Let me kind of go ahead and see if there are some people on this server. They certainly are. Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, this is 3.17. This is the PTU. They had a new patch tonight. And, yeah. As you can see, I am already kind of not able to get myself a elevator, and this is something that's happened before, but earlier I was on and it was working great. So I will do this. I will head back to the menus and we'll see if we can get lucky on a different server. So a little bit of a growing pain, I guess, here. I wasn't expecting to hit that. We'll grab some options here and maybe we'll try US and see if it's any better. Yeah. Oh, it's very late there. It's true. Rowan says it's 3:34 a.m. here. Yeah. No, it's only 10:30 here. So I mean, I got nothing on that for sure. That's so funny. Absolutely no big deal. Dragon Master, good evening. I say the day is starting. Well, how is everyone? How are you doing? We'll see if we can get out of here. And like I said, when you first log into these PTU servers, they're just a touch choppy. We'll see if we can get out of... See if we can make it out. And I'm going to check the names and see if I recognize them as the same server type of thing. I don't know that it is. But yeah, we'll... hopefully we can get out of the elevator. Let me just ask around. Yeah, it's definitely one of the gonna be. This is kind of what happens sometimes with the old PTU. Let's see about this. And earlier I was on a server and it was working just fine. So, you know, I have every reasonable belief that it's going to be okay. But let me just kind of hit the menus again, just because it's one of those things. I think we'll try and work our way through this problem here. Seems to be acting a little bit silly. So I don't know if... it's not options there. I don't know if there's like an EU version of the test server. I'll try that. I'm willing to give anything a try. And test these mining loops. Let's see how that goes. But yeah, you know, like earlier, it looked like ROC Mining was actually acting a little bit better. So I hope that that's the case. That is for sure. Loading in now. Alrighty, and let's see if we can get an elevator out of this place. Oh. Different here. Oh, it is. Yeah, there we go. Well, there's a start. You know, I noticed those other elevators were kind of white. That's interesting. Hey, Colton. Colton Hill says, "Hey, man, how long will you be live for?" A few hours, I think, Colton. I mean, at least a couple hours. You know, we're gonna try a couple of different mining loops tonight. Now, this will be choppy a little bit. Like I said, when you first get into the PTU, it is a little choppy, but, you know, it'll kind of work itself out. And I've seen that on my side as well. So first thing I need to do is run up and get a drink. It looks like, you know, I was mentioning, it does seem like that the actual drinking and eating mechanics, they look a touch to me like they're persistent now, which is kind of interesting. Dragon Master says, yeah, I don't play PTU really because of it. Still playing on and off till 3.18 hits. Yeah, you know, and I can definitely appreciate why 3.18 may be you know, the time when you want to hit it, for sure. You know, it's the cargo refactor and all that. Moyne says, just occurred to me, if the stations have elevators, why don't they have an alternative means for when the elevators fail? You know, that's a good point. I mean, they should, you know, when the elevators fail, you definitely should have an option to do something there. Hey, Frosty, how are you tonight? Nice to see you. So we're going to head over to the food court here, and we are going to purchase some water and drink some of that water. Then we're going to go grab the Nomad, and we're going to go pick up an ROC, and we're going to head over to Aberdeen, and we are going to test the ROC mining loop. We're not going to spend an extensive amount of time doing that. I want water, if I can find it. Not there. Oh, I bet it's right over here. I see some. Yay. Alright, so let's do this. We're going to go ahead and take our helmet off a second. Alright. And we definitely need to get a drink. There we go. Getting a little Feeling a little better about that. That's good. What about one of these guys right here? A little burrito for the team. Alright, now I'm going to quick buy about at least a couple of waters. I'm going to store them. So I have them with me. It's definitely a whole different ballgame with needing to kind of have a few in the old backpack there. We just want to make sure we got them for sure. Now here's what we kind of got some the things that we need, right? Like we got the pyro tool on. I'm not seeing it, but I think I have the. Oh, let's just go ahead and go to utility. We may have to run down and grab a cutter. Go ahead and put that in utility for a minute. Yeah, I don't see my cutter. You know, we'll go do that. So let's go do that next. Gotta have everything that we need when we go mining, for sure. If we don't have everything we need, then we're gonna... Now, I'd like to be... I can't remember if there are any caves on Ariel or not, or on Aberdeen or not. So we're definitely going to go to Aberdeen first with the Nomad. We're going to have to probably go over to Ariel first, pick up the ROC, then head to Aberdeen and do a little bit of rock mining. And then once we test that, then we'll probably go do a little bit of prospecting. So a little flying around tonight. Colton Hill says, I got stuck in between my cargo ramp and a rock yesterday. Then after a few minutes, I died. I know how that goes, sir. I absolutely understand when you get those, you know, those crazy little things that kind of go on and makes you laugh, for sure. I'm going to actually crack my window open here just a sec. There we go. Thank you for waiting for that. We're going to go down to the refinery and purchase. I at least need a cutter for my, or a ore mining bit for my pyro tool. And then we'll go ahead and get started. We should be able to knock out a couple of the mining loops, the ROC mining and potentially the cave mining. I just want to make sure that that stuff's kind of working. And then maybe a little prospecting after that. So if we're lucky, we can do just a little bit of each mining loop tonight. That's kind of my goal, is as these patches get a little closer to being ready to go, just double checking that the thing that I like to do, which is mining, is working good. And to that end, I will go ahead. These things look so snazzy now, these new UI windows. It's not that, it's here. I'm gonna buy some of those. I'm gonna buy some of these. I might even buy a couple of these, because these are fun to take into the caves with you when you go. Roy says, I was on Hurston and forgot I had removed my helmet to drink and went through one of the airlocks at HTMS Stanhope and promptly suffocated. Yeah, I know how that goes. I've done that so many times. And there's been times when, like, my helmet is on and I've suffocated. It's like, what? Really? It's crazy. So, all right, I think we've kind of got the things that we need. I'll definitely throw some on the Nomad for sure. Now, I hope that the Nomad is on the pad. I landed it on a pad. Yeah, while I'm down here, I'm just going to buy an extra Pembroke suit just in case, because I'm going to want one. I'm not going to want to...
Hi, good to have you back. See anything you like?
Yep. We'll definitely need one on Aberdeen. It's warm there. Although we'll probably go to the South Pole of Aberdeen, which is kind of cool. Oh yeah, there's that, and then there's the... We need the helmet. There's the backpack, quick buy. And the helmet, quick buy. Alright, we'll make sure we're good there. A little bit of everything we need for setting up for all of our mining operations tonight. There's the helmet there. There's the undersuit. Good. There's the backpack. All right, we got that stuff extra. So yeah, we're definitely heading out to do some mining. So I'll turn that off there. And yeah, I was glad to see that the server finally let me open a habitation door. Colton says, I might get some... Oh, I know better than to go to... I almost went to the wrong side there and got myself promptly killed. Yeah. You know, and I don't know if it's a thing. Maybe they fixed that. So, Colton says, I might get some upgrades for my Avenger tonight. Yeah, that's nice. I'll tell you guys, I got a Gladius, and I flew that. Boy, that's a fun ship to fly. I was really kind of surprised by how just good it was. You know, I've kind of been an aero pilot a lot myself, and so it just maybe having that extra bit of shields is not a bad thing. You know, I really enjoyed the Gladius. It flew really well and surprisingly, you know, well. And I think it's probably that gold standard pass is really nice. Moine says, regenerated at Bajini Point, took my Aurora MR, went directly to HMS Stanhope and looted my corpse and continued my delivery contract in the Nomad. I had parked there. Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. Just, you know, when you die like that, you just got to brush it off and go get her done, right? I mean, that's just kind of the... Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure my imprint is set here. Yeah, we're good. And we're going to load the Nomad. We're going to double check that we got everything on it that we need, and then we're going to go pick up the ROC. And then, and you know, there's always the chance if it's stored properly that the ROC would be in the...
Welcome to the
It'll be interesting to see if this is claim or not. No, it's retrieve. That's a good thing. Because I did park it on the pad, but then I, you know, decided I was going to do some streaming, and then I was monkeying around with that stuff, and then... You know, and then of course I had to log servers and 2. All right, we'll head on up there. Excited to actually do a little mining here. You know, I really earlier I will kind of, you know, give you the TLDR version. I did a little bit of had night mining and it looked like the ROC extraction bug was fixed, and I want to confirm that. That's a, you know, I really like ROC mining a lot. I would ROC mine a lot more if, for some reason, hey, look at the ROCs up there, you guys. Look at that. This is awesome. It's still here. So we don't got to go pick it up. That's fantastic. Happy about that. So yeah, you know, I would ROC mine a ton more if the ROC, you know, if the extract, you know, if you didn't get that swirl on the extraction laser. You know, that, you know, having a whole bunch of gems kind of swirling on the outside of the laser, it just kind of puts me off to it a little bit, which is no big deal. You know, of course I can just prospect your mine all day long, and I'm happy to do it. But, you know, I'm really, it really is a bug to me that I hope that they get worked out in 3.17, you know. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and, let me do this real quick. I do want to double check that I have some of the things in here that I need. I should have did this real quick already. So in the vehicle, yep, I do have some things here. So let's go to local. I am going to move a couple of extra things in here, though. Let's move a couple of orbit attachments in here, just so we have them, and another one of one of these here, and yeah, that should be good. Now I am going to put in the mining attachment. Let me double check that that's making it in there. It is good. That's exactly what I want to see. So yeah, so I have an extra, just an undersuit and helmet. I have a Pembroke suit for when I do go mining. Oh yeah, there was a couple of other like utility items as well. Let's see if we find those. You know, I bought those pink flares. I wonder where they ended up. Oh, there they are. I'm moving those over here too. Hey, Sandy Claus. How are you doing tonight? Nice to see you, sir. So yeah, you guys, we're in really good shape. I mean, we're kind of off to the races. You know, in the sense that we don't have to necessarily stop by. You know, this guy's loaded up on board here and looking good, ready to go. So no complaints there. All right, kind of pulling the gear up. Let's go ahead and head towards Hurston. And we'll get this party started. All right, mining loop 1 that I want, and the main mining loop I really did want to test tonight is ROC mining. But I'm hoping to, after we do a little ROC mining, maybe a cluster or two, then we'll maybe go see if we'll find a cave and do a little hand mining. I've got the bit with me. And then we'll finish up with some prospecting potentially and monkeying around with mining gadgets if we have to. So, yeah, settle in. We're gonna have to make some popcorn. We're definitely gonna kick the tires on this mining thing in 3.17. So, drinking a little bit of deliciously cold water tonight. Didn't make myself some Java right before. It doesn't seem right. You know, I need to make, how can it be Quantanium coffee if I didn't make it myself any coffee? But I didn't. Yeah, check that out. Here's the one thing I will tell you guys is I have been super surprised with how stable myself the ROC has been. And who knows, maybe I'll be proven wrong tonight. But I have had nothing but a good experience putting the ROC in the back of this Nomad. I mean, it hasn't been very buggy. It's been, I've been really surprised. I mean, very, very pleasantly surprised by it. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. Really excited to do this testing tonight, so. It is kind of funny. I mean, you're just going through quantum and having this thing on the back of the old pickup truck. But, hey, I mean, it's a very viable. One of the things I like about it is it's fairly quick to deploy. There's not a ton of fiddling with it. So I don't know if I guess I don't really know this, but if the Nomad went on sale. And somebody was, wanting to start Star Citizen and knew 100% they wanted to be a miner, I may recommend let's say, I don't know, let's say it went on sale for $60 or something, or $65. Then you could actually, you could make the argument that it's a significantly bigger jump to go to the Cutlass Black, which is, by all means, the Cutlass Black, you guys know, is a superior size 2 quantum drive, 46 SCU, really is the next step up, right? But this is not, this is not a bad ship. I mean, honestly, I enjoy it. She's a little thirsty on hydrogen, I will say that. But other than that, it's very nimble, it seems to fly good. Ramon says, I just bought a ROC, was thinking of doing just what you are actually doing. So do you mind if I treat this as a tutorial? Of course not. No, that's exactly what this is. And Sandy Claus, Sandy Claus was playing, streaming some Crusader Kings 3. Just needed a change up. Just finished. Nice, Sandy. Is Crusader Kings 3 fun? I hadn't caught up with that one yet. Oh, and then I'm missing a lot of these, you guys. Colton says, I'll probably end up upgrading this week to the Andromeda. Colton, excellent ship, the Andromeda. That's a heck of a good gunship, by the way, Colton, for sure. Ramon says, incidentally, I have moved my regen to Everest Harbor over Lorville, seeing as if I'm in Hurston area for a while and reclaim my Aurora from San Jose. Yeah, Hurston, it's very centrally located, Hurston. I think it's a great option. And certainly some of the best ROC mining, which is on Aberdeen, is where you want to head for looking for Hadnite. That's going to be your best, the best moon in Stanton system to locate that stuff. Sandy Claus loves his Freelancer Max, and I can't blame him for that. That's awesome. All right, we are going to head over to Aberdeen. because we already have the ROC. And so we'll just kind of light this guy up, and off we go. Oh, that cooldown was pretty fast on this drive. Whatever drive this is, that thing cooled down really fast. I don't know, that's crazy. Crusader Kings 3 is fun, but gotta like strategy and history. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that for sure, Sandy. You gotta love. I couldn't agree more with that. And strategy and history are both pretty good. So, all right. So let's kind of look around here for an OM marker. Oh, I bet you we just need to clear the route there. There's OM1, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Is OM1. And I'll show you guys a little kind of a cool thing here, if you don't know it already, and you might. If you just kind of come to OM1, then line up on OM2, then you just kind of fly on in. We'll gun it. Now, this will probably take this will be a couple minute ride in, but, you know, well, the nice thing is you come in this side and you kind of head towards the light side of the planet. And you'll spend quite a bit of time in the sun. The other side of it is coming to this particular pole is one of the better places to look for hadnite. Just, you know, just one miner to another. You know, if you happen to be watching tonight or watch the stream later, it's a pretty good, usually this does, you know, when you come down here, you do well. You know, I should always preface it with usually. Sandy Claus says, it's also because I'm too poor to buy the Andromeda. Fair enough. Geesley, how you doing, Geesley? Nice to see you. How are you doing? Chris Bates says that cooldown for the Nomad's insane. I agree, Chris. I mean, the thing shut off and was ready to go right again. I'll have to look at what drive that is. I mean, that was impressive. Sandy Claus says, did a cargo stream yesterday. Hit all 4 spots for Laranite and was bleak. 24K profit. First round, 150K profit for second run. You know what? I really do, man, when that cargo refactor comes, I really hope that there's some rebalancing going on with that part of things, for sure. Alright, so we're kind of, the altimeter's a little strange in 3.17. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Everything is 67814. And I know we're still pretty far off the surface, but, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, you're coming in here and you're like, hey, I don't want to have any problems. We'll kind of ping down. Oh yeah, we're definitely coming in there. All right, so that's all right. Backing off the speed a little bit, and let me kind of get controlled this way. I love to switch to, as you guys know, I love to switch to mouse and keyboard when I mine. And so, all right, so here we go. Now, you know, earlier when I was ROC mining on Lyria, it worked fine. So we're just going to kind of come in here, and we're just going to begin looking around for some hadonite clusters. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep that sun right there at our 12 o'clock as much as we can. And right off the bat, we found a cluster. Look at that, you guys. Kind of fun. Now, this is... It's weird how that's showing as a purple, though, isn't it? What? That's weird. I'm just kind of curious what these are, what rocks these are. I don't know that there's not Quantanium on this. There is no, why are they purple? That's so weird, you guys. It's like before first break. That is so strange. I have no idea. But we're not looking for those right now, so we're not, we'll do our thing over this way. So, yeah, we're going to cruise around here and have a little fun now. So, yeah, I will tell you this, the colors are yellow. So Sandy's asking, what are the colors when you go to break things? Great question. So the colors are normally yellow for first break and second break, and purple for extraction. Kind of following the meta of the lasers. Now, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. Now, I don't know if this is hadnite yet. We're certainly going to find out. Good news is it is scanning. This is going to be Dolavine, I bet you, by the instability. And you also can do this and just kind of look at the rocks. I can see I know it's a little shaky there because that's me. If I can just kind of settle down here. You can see the green in the rocks. And look at, they're not actually kind of doing all that weird ghosting either. So this is good. You know, that actually is a good thing. Let's kind of tab out here. We want to head towards the sun a lot, you know. So each gem is going to be, the Dolavine is going to have a green look to it, and that we're not, you know, and then there's a couple different hues of purple, really, for Aphorite and for Hadonite. The Hadonite's a little bit darker looking. So, and of course a lot of these will be just normal rock icons, but we'll just kind of keep, see, there's a lot of gem minables on Aberdeen. There's just a lot of them, so this is a good place to come. Hello. Well, those are like they're very tiny. I've seen that before, where it's like it almost looks like they were mined already. It's funny. Ramon says, I remember that shimmer you were experiencing on there. Yeah, that was weird. And you know, I was watching, who was it? Maybe it was Salty Mike was mentioning that's what that's considered is a bug streaming the assets in. So yeah, that was a really weird, you know, kind of strange thing when it wouldn't stream those in at all. It was weird. Alright, so we're approaching over here on this one. Well, I'll see if I can teach you guys a little bit of the scanning meta, how to tell it's actually rock minables. Now, this isn't a great cluster in the sense that there's not lots of them here. This is going to be Dolavine too. The instability of 3.53, that's Dolavine. I just happen to know that. But I want to look at the rocks a little bit. And you can see, like, I don't know if you can see, there's just a little touch of greenish in there. And that tells me for sure. But it's really the instability that tells me that, you know, that's Dolavine or whatever. So we're going to keep on doing here. You can see, I just love this. This is just fire right here. This is so good. That's a rock mineable. Now, if you notice, sometimes you have these scans in the distance, right? See that 8,000, it's like 7,600 in closing. If you ever are tabbing and all of a sudden you have so when you're finding one a lot closer, just like that extra one who just jumped on there, that's usually going to be, one of those is going to be a rock mineable. Like, it's one of those deals where if you let out a ping, and that ping goes, it proved me wrong. The ping goes, that actually was kind of weird. When you let out a ping and it's out in a distance, and then you kind of let out a second ping, and all of a sudden like something closer shows up, usually that's gems. Nope. It's the same, usually. Not always. Ramon says, I have never done any mining, so hand ROC mining will be a new experience. When next time in the game, Aberdeen is the place to come. What about armor? I believe that Aberdeen is extreme heat. Yeah, that's why I brought that Pembroke armor set. You know, like it's the Pembroke undersuit. That's specifically designed for hot weather. So yeah, we'll have to throw that guy on when we go do our mining for sure. Lots of rocks there scanning. Good. Yeah, so that's why you bring that. Now the one thing is the southern pole, like when I came, or the pole that I came down on, when you start out on orbital marker 1 and head towards 2, I can tell you one good thing about that is, let's just go ahead and look at this real quick. One good thing about that is it is a touch more temperate down this area. Sure, I've seen a couple of those types of scannables. That's kind of weird. You know, I wish my Prospector could carry the ROC though. That I'd you'd really be a mining outfit then. The Pembroke you can get in the refineries. The Navikovs you can get in the cargo centers like at Bajini and stuff. The Navikov is for cold weather. The Pembroke is for warm weather. And so Pembroke you get in the refineries. Like CRUL1, HURL1, ARCL1, Mike L1. Really one? Oh boy. Watch this one be had night too. No. Nope, it's Dolomine. Alright, we'll keep moving. You can see that the the Nomad's, she's very nimble. I mean, it does a very good job cruising along the planet surface here. So here, there's an example of it, right, you guys? Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be that way, but we had a 4,000 marker, but then we pinged again, and look at, we had this marker appear in front of it. That's what I was talking about. Usually, that's how you tell if it's gem icons a lot. Like, you'll have a further away scan, and then all of a sudden you'll do another little mini scan, like another ping, and there'll be like, an opportunity marker kind of happens to be, it just kind of pops in front of you, like in front of the other marker. So like you scan, you do a ping, you have a marker that's like 8,000 out and you're heading towards it, and then you do another ping when you're, like a couple thousand into that run, and all of a sudden another opportunity marker shows up in between that first ping. Usually that's an indicator, usually that's an indicator that is a, that's a gem icon. And I'm just hoping that helps you a little bit with the meta as far as finding. Yeah, this is Hadanite. It's a single Hadanite, though. I'd really like to find a cluster. I think I'm just going to skip this single. I'd like to, I don't know that the single. I really like to break up like about 2 or 3 rocks and then scoop and see how it looks after that. So nice to find some Hadanite for sure. But I just want a slightly bigger node cluster than that one. Probably only going to do a node cluster or 2 anyways. Dasman says, what do you think of the new mining gadgets? I adore them, love them. It really is a game changer for solo prospecting. It's also a huge game changer for rental prospecting. Rental prospecting, is really, considering you can attach those things to the secondary rocks, you're really going to be able to utilize. I think this is going to be Hadanite, you guys. I'm just going to guess that it is. We'll see here in just a sec. It's crazy that you kind of have to get right on top of these. Nope, it's Dolomine. Interesting. I thought I had a little purplish hue to it. But yeah, I adore the mining gadgets. They're a big game changer, for sure. Alright, we're cruising on. Let's go over here for just a sec. Start using boost and really kind of scooting along here. Alright, there's a few rocks. What do we have here? Now there's 3 Hadanite. That's what we're looking for right there. Something like this will be just fine. So let's go ahead here. I'll drop the gear. turn off the engines. They're right there. I'll lower this guy. And out we'll go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just go out in my regular suit first, just to kind of see what the weather's like. If I have a big situation where it looks like it's really hot out, and I have a like a 5-minute timer or something, we'll see. Survival estimate. Oh yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll go back in and put in the Pembroke. We'll do that pronto. Yeah, that's not good. It's very hot out. Very warm. Well, should have packed maybe some suntan oil there. Holy smoker doker doozles. Alright, so let's take this stuff off. We'll stick this in the vehicle mostly. And look at the vehicles have way more capacity than they used to have, you guys, which is great. Now, I don't need the backpack on for this part of it. And you can see this is, kind of an interesting get-up here. But, it will keep me alive, so... my friend Four and I always referred to these things a little bit as the clown suits a little bit. Now, you can see we're getting that kind of, that strange kind of clipping here, like phasing in and out, but no big deal. We'll just make the best of it. We're going to enter driver's seat. Desmond says, I took 2 weeks off mining, had some family stuff to take care of. Be back in Leary to mining again. Yeah, Now, I will tell you, they did say tonight that 3.17 is going to, they're hoping to have it out this week. So that's kind of exciting. One of the things I will tell you, a little trick, is kind of line up over here on this side of the rocks. And then it's never a bad idea to turn your engines off so you're not moving around that much. And then, we'll draw the UI and off we go. So I'll pay attention here. A lot to what's happening with the laser intensity, the charge level. We'll crank it up and make it happen here. Now she's charging right up there. I rolled it way back. And we'll settle in, and it fell out a touch, but that's okay. We're just going to kind of find our way here. And we're hoping that, when we break this, we're going to do the best job we can not to scatter these. Good. They didn't scatter. Wayne Yang 1, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel, Wayne. How are you tonight? I did not try the gadgets yet, but if you can break a rock with double surge, why would you use a gadget? They just make the game overcomplicated. Wayne, certainly you can. The one thing I will say with Quantanium mining, when you put on a surge and you put on a stampede, you really are making those 100% Quantaniums have a 2.5 instability. They do swing pretty wildly. So they actually, I mine in Prospector all the time. I don't use the surges myself. I understand why you would use them, and I understand the use case, and lots of people absolutely use them just so you can break the bigger rocks. I always just fly past the bigger rocks myself because I would rather have, find the rocks that I can mine and then have plenty of brants on board. Now, that's just my method. The cool thing about mining is people can choose however they want to do it themselves, But that's how I do it, and so it is kind of a game changer for me. But I understand why people use the surges, but I can tell you, you also can, you can certainly attach those mining gadgets to the secondary brakes as well. So you can put like if you have a 100% Quantanium rock that's being a bit of a bugger, it's not always just about the energy. It's about making sure that you can keep it in the optimal safely without blowing it up. You know, the other use case for it, though, Wayne, is you have to remember is the rented prospector. The rented prospector, of course, it makes a heck of a difference for. You can really, really do a heck of a job with the arbor laser and you know, kind of stacking those gadgets as well. So, you know, different use cases or whatever. Now, you know, that's just my opinion, and, you know, I mean, obviously different people feel differently about that. So, you know, one of the cool things is we kind of all teach each other a little bit here on this channel when we do mining and give our opinions, and I really do appreciate yours for sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and break these last couple rocks down, and then we're gonna scoop. Right, that's the most important thing, is we're gonna scoop after that and see if we get this swirling. You know, we're gonna try and break all these down. We're gonna do our best to break them down in a way that we don't get into the overcharge. We're certainly gonna try, anyways. Sometimes these things can just jump up into the overcharge. My preference is gonna be that it falls out, though, more than it gets the overcharge. You know, just so I don't scatter them. I really don't want to scatter them at all.
Power critical.
You can see I had to dial it back really quickly there. It jumped up pretty quick. But that's okay. Fell out there. I kind of pushed it back up again. Don't want to lose it all. Got another clean break there. Wayne says, if you are mining in the belt, you can break all the rocks without a search. That's absolutely true, Wayne. I mean, I don't disagree with that. The max size being 5122 in the belt, you know, there's really, I mean, you know, it's hard for me to argue that you need, I'm not, you don't need mining gadgets. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, you don't need them. Now, there may be a future meta where they are very helpful. Who knows if things are going to become even more unstable or whatever. I mean, but certainly in the belt, I agree. The rented prospector would be kind of the use case, I think, for them in the Aaron Halo. You know, I mean, like you said, I mean, no rock is unbreakable there, for sure. Now, I will tell you, Wayne, I did break. If you go back and look at one of my streams, it's on the stream. I broke an 8300 mass rock. It was like 82 and some change. With a Lancet, you know, and an FLTRXL and 2 brands on board, but I stuck like 4 mining gadgets on it just for fun. So you can break like much bigger rocks solo in the Prospector. You can attach those things, just throw them in, you know, and yeah, it's not a difficult thing to do in that capacity. I mean, I had to struggle there quite a bit, but once I kind of figured out how to do it, it worked fine. So here's kind of what we're here to test, you guys, is whether or not this extraction bug is still really good or bad. So this is kind of the use case here. Toketter says, mining in the belt, you're also less likely to run into pirates. That's for sure. Anonymity for sure. Oh, that's so good. Look at nothing is swirling around the laser head. Nothing is swirling around the laser head all silly. Now there are occasional collisions that make a rock go flying. But they're not all flying around the laser head. I mean, they are. It is extracting, you guys. It was one of the most infuriating, you know, bugs was that flying. So this is good. Yeah, Archer, what I'm doing is I'm testing the to see if the extraction bug was gone for ROC mining. That was my main purpose of is doing this. I think it's pretty close. Yeah, look at that. I scooped them all. All right, we'll turn on the engine. Well, that one's being a little fishy. Good. Yeah, I wanted to test the extraction bug, you guys, and looks like, for the most part, I'm fairly satisfied with that. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's... hard to say what's going on with this one. Oh, it's way over here, that's why. What the heck? Where the heck is it? Oh, heavens, I'm not going all the way over for one rock. Now, you gotta love this. I mean, this is just looks gorgeous. I mean, this is so much fun, you guys. Now we're gonna back this thing into the old... Good. Yeah, not bad at all. And of course, the Pembroke suit, you know, we're handling the 221 degrees Celsius. And that, you know, in that burning heat. We'll take it. And, ooh. In we go. It is hot, arid, and beautiful. That's exactly right. And so, yep, you'll definitely want to have one of these suits on when you come here. That's for sure. It's not friendly at all. So we'll kind of throw this on here, and we got a little bit of everything here. So we'll throw one of these helmets on, and we'll call it good for now. So that really did work out well, I think. I mean, you know, unless you guys think we need to go find one more node, I'm pretty convinced that looks like... I mean, every single time I went ROC mining before, it would swirl around the end of that laser head. So, I mean, if you guys are satisfied with that, I think I am. I don't know that we need to go. No, of course I'm not going to do that. Ramon says, you going to leave the cargo bay open? No, not at all. I always just kind of look behind and make sure she loads up just fine, and check that she's looking good, and up we go. Raise the gear. Yeah.
Landing gear retracted.
So yeah, there we go. All right. We'll look around for another couple minutes here, and we'll see if we see another... See, this is what I was talking about. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this one at 2200 is gonna be, but I scanned it first, you guys, and I had an opportunity marker or a hit at around 4600 at the time. Then I pinged a second time, and very quickly, you know, I had this second hit. So, you know, I just want to show you guys, I think that's a little bit of a meta. Now, it hasn't been perfect every time, but this would not surprise me if this is ROC Minables right in here, because that seems to be how it's been working. And there they are. That's what I'm saying. So you ping, you have a distance marker, you start closing the gap, you ping again. Now this is just Dolovine. Look at, why did that just... Oh, I bet you I've flown over that Dolovine before, because it knew it was Dolovine. Where's the sun? Was I flying against it? Maybe. But anyways, yeah, that's the meta with that, you guys. So catching up on, yeah, Wayne says, yes, mining in the belt is quiet and enjoyable. I only mine in the belt with the Mole solo, and I think the Mole is the best solo mining ship, although it's made for multi-crew. You know, I mean, obviously, the Prospector is my favorite ship in the game. I love prospecting. I have the Mole, and the Mole is I think the Mole is the funnest ship in the game when properly crewed. But that's just me. You know, I definitely have no... I always say on the channel, anybody who has more ambition than me, I never knock them. When I first bought the Mole, I soloed it in a bunch, but I definitely settled in on enjoying the mole or enjoying the prospector for for solo mining myself. But I'll tell you, I will say, if I was gonna do any kind of solo moling, it would definitely be in the Iron Halo for sure. Toe Cutter says 513,000. Lemoyne says, it seems like loading the ROC in the Nomad is better. It's way better in 3.17. I have been very, very, very surprised by how clean it seems to load it. That's one of the reasons I was showing it off a little bit in the stream here, is that it actually seems to be working pretty good. So we're just kind of burning our way through. Looking around for maybe one more node to mine. I mean, I was very satisfied with that. And we could certainly go hand mining at any time if we don't find some more ROC minables fairly quickly. Okay. It's kind of crazy how close you have to get to those rock icons now. Jazzy Cat, good evening. How you doing, Jazzy? Nice to see you. One thing about the old Nomad, you guys, is it's a touch thirsty. How quick she burns through hydrogen. That's for sure. You know, there's a lot of things that I like about this ship, but that particular one is, you know. Now, it may very well... There's a little cluster. It may very well may be that it doesn't burn any faster than the Cutlass Black, but the Cutlass Black's got big gas tanks in it. So... fun. There it goes again. See, I had a pip at about 6,000, but then I had this short guy, this one that kind of showed up in front of it. And like I said, this is kind of what I mean. Now that time it turned out to be a rock. It is weird. I mean, but there is at least some part of that meta where, as you're kind of flying along here, if you're doing a lot of active pinging, you know, things at a short distance are good to know. It's something funny with that one. Alright, over this way we'll head. Looking for maybe one more Had Night cluster to mine. Dasman says, you're mining late, V. You're so right, Daz. They dropped the patch a little late, and then I had a lot of family things going on tonight. I really do want to test the hand mining loops. Or pardon me, all of the loops in 3.17, the mining loops, just what we do, right, Daz? So you're absolutely right. This is late for me. I normally don't stream at this time, so it's great to have all you guys on board, that's for sure. It's a late one, and I'm just kind of enjoying it, so. Hey. Now, if all that would just be Had Night, I'd be a happy guy. What? Why am I doing that? I'm shooting all my profits. Dolivine. Alright, we'll keep moving. Fine, Dolivine. But you can see, like, you know, one of the things that's really nice about the Nomad, she just kind of sails along. I mean, it's a good, you know, she's got good boosters. You know, seems to track really nice. And, you know, obviously it's quick to get the ROC out for sure. Absolutely quick to get the ROC out. Alright. Well, we will go ahead and keep on looking for something to mine. You know, one more. I'd like to find one more bit of Had Night if we could. Wayne Yang says, I first bought the Prospector, then bought the Mole. Then once with the Mole a couple of times. I found it's way more efficient. I never take out the Prospector. You know, I can appreciate that. Like I said, I love prospecting. You know, but I absolutely understand why somebody would choose the mole. I mean, having more room to put more stuff on board makes sense to me. It is very late. It's not terribly late. I mean, you guys, it's not horrible. It's 11:30. So it's not crazy late, but it's late, you know, and so certainly a lot later than we normally stream. Moine's like, hey, is it late? Yeah, a little bit. Wayne Yang says, 10% of the trips I can bring back double or triple. I can appreciate that. For sure. Like I said, it's just, for me, Wayne, it's just, you know, and like I said, you know, it's a touch tedious for me to get back, you know, but, you know, to get in and out of the pilot's chair and run down to the laser. But that's okay, though. I will tell you, I love the mole when I have a full crew on board. It is so fun. I just love that ship when you know, you can kind of sit back. You got a great mining crew. Yeah, it's the moles. Yeah, I just adore the mole for sure. And anything about mining that starts with this, and I love. Cody Hollow, how are you, Cody? We're out testing a little bit of the mining loops tonight in 3.17. There I go again, you guys, shooting my profits up. Looking for one more just bit of had night if we could, please. Looks like a good instability. There we go. There's a 5-pack of had night. We'll go ahead and make it count. Kind of come in here. We'll drop the gear. Just beautiful landing. We'll set this guy right on the ground here. Looks good. Out we go. And we will mine this real quick too and test that. We'll definitely test that extraction bug one more time. So I will throw on this. This is becoming incredibly cool. You know, obviously being able to kind of kit how you need to. I'll throw a couple of these on just for fun, funsies, and we'll go out there in the old clown suit and, you know, do some mining right here as well. So out we go. Moy says it's 11:30 for Space Orcs and 4:30 for... What are you doing up so late? 4:30? What the heck? Toe Cutter says, using the mole, I always end up about 10 meters short and have to run back to the pilot seat and adjust. Toe, you know, I definitely have the same thing. Like, you know, now, don't get me wrong. There's a bit of an art to it, and you can get really, really good. And I'm sure, I have a feeling Wayne has probably dialed it in, right? He's gotten so good at that particular thing. You know, it's just because you don't want to have to go and make those little adjustments, right? What the heck's that? Oh, it's just a root. Seen something kind of red right there for a minute. So one of the things I like to do, I'll tell you, is once again, is I like to get the rocks that I'm gonna mine kind of in the you know, in the left part of my frame. Then I turn off the engines and then off. Here we go. So, oh hey, and then we'll break some of these guys up and we'll scoop them and see how it goes. Hey, see that? Try to get a little crazy up in there. We'll try not to scatter these as much as we can. It's a good break. Ramon says, I just now realized you're driving with mouse and keyboard. I do. I mine with mouse and keyboard. That's how I learned to mine. I have my sticks for flight, and I use those all the time, but when I mine, I switch to mouse and keyboard. Even when I go through the scanning stuff, I just like the precision in it. That's absolutely true. I mean, that's just how I like to do it. It's kind of a hybrid model. Dad says, you gotta be careful with those surges. I had to limp my Prospector back to the repair pad. Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. That's exactly right. There's no question about that. So Wayne says, from my experience, I would have bought a starter ship, go to shoot some probes, build up AUEC, buy the mole instead of the Prospector. This is the fastest way. You know, I have said many times on my mining stream channel, Wayne, if I could own one ship in the game, it would be the Prospector. It's just the one that's... I love prospecting. I love the fact that I just love the bubble canopy. I love everything about the way that ship flies. I adore prospecting. You know, once again, I'm a very competent mole pilot. I definitely fly the mole a lot. Especially almost every organizational mining op, I'm a mole captain. You know, and I can call the lasers and handle all that business fantastic. But for solo mining, definitely, I prefer the Prospector myself. And it's always fun to find strong advocates for the mole, you know, for soloing. And you're not the only one that comes to this channel. There's lots of them, so that's cool, man. Toe Cutter says, why do I kill the engines? Good question, Toe. Because the ship will not move. The ROC will not move. Kind of sometimes if you leave the engines on, it will rock back and forth a little bit or act funny. It won't do that at all. It won't do that at all. When you turn off those engines, it's just stuck right in the spot. Wayne says, but then the game is all kind of fun. People should try all ships and get the one. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, that's the thing about, you know, that's the beauty about mining, isn't it, Wayne? You know, you can, when you make money, you can kind of, it just opens up the rest of the game to you. I agree with that 100%. And regardless if you use the mole or the Prospector to get rich, because I make millions a week with the Prospector just fine. It doesn't matter as long, you know, but making those space bucks is a very nice thing. You know, it just opens up the rest of the game. Now, I would normally move closer, but I'm having a little fun at this distance, just seeing if it... This is kind of the fun thing about testing a little bit, you guys, is like you get to kind of just do things you wouldn't normally do. Dasman says, I melted my Aurora. For my Prospector 3 years ago when I started Star Citizen. Oh, that's awesome. Moine says, on my own account, I have a starter ship Aurora, however...
Warning. Power critical.
Oh no, I'm going to scatter one, you guys. Maybe. We'll see. No, it didn't scatter. Yay. She just had gone in there a sliver. So this is going to be an excellent test of the extraction bug, you guys. Ramon says, however, I currently play using a friend's account. He's waiting for Squadron 42. So I'm flying a Nomad and bought an ROC. Good choice. Alright, so, oh my stars, you guys. This is working way better. It really is. And I'll go back and put markers on the stream for when we did the extraction part of it. I mean, they're not flying... I'm not saying it's perfect, but they're not flying around the end of the laser. And to me, that's... I mean, I would even be okay with them slowing the extraction rate down a little bit if they had to. One thing I've mentioned to you guys, I'm sure that if you watch the channel, you'll know. But you know, you can break these rock nodes with the Prospector. No laser intensity, leave it at 0%, and then just turn it on and off. You can feather your way through the green with a Lancet, easy peasy. You can break a 9-pack of these things in like 2 minutes with the with the Prospector. And then just have the ROCs extract. Actually, I put out a little video about that on, it's like on one of my videos on the... Cool. Hey, I'm not complaining, you guys. This is working great. Awesome. I'll take it. Hey. Oh, my OCD, you guys. I have to, like, back on perfect or else I'm not happy. That's not perfect. There we go. There we go. That's not perfect either, but it's better. Yeah, look how smoothly that thing goes on there. I mean, it's not... Remember when they first put this thing out? Like, how crazy it'd, like, get up there and just jitterbug like crazy? It is amazing. I mean, it's way better than it used to be. Cool. There's actually cool gravity here as well. All right, so we'll go ahead. I mean, I consider this loop tested. You know, that bug. Now, it was so funny when I looked at the patch notes tonight. They didn't even mention the shard at all. Like, they didn't mention it as fixed or not fixed. And I was like, I wonder what's going on with that, you know? So, all right, well, let's go ahead and we'll throw on a few things here because I think we're going to go... Make sure I got the cutter on there. I do, or the mining attachment. Cool. We'll throw these on, this on, this on, and this on, and this on, and this on, these on. And this guy here. And I'm going to attach some of these too. And yeah, let's go. Now, I will tell you, I've never looked on Aberdeen if there's a cave, but I'm going to look to see if there's a cave mission now. So, Desmond says, my starter ship was the Cutlass Black, my first ship, which I still have. Yeah, the Cutlass Black's a great ship to have and own. Desmond says, hey, V, you're going to need some sleep after tomorrow. I am going to need some sleep, Daz. That's true. Ramon says, this time it's the vegetation that's shimmering. Yes, it is. Like, here's the thing. I can actually... The shimmering kind of makes sense to me in a way on this planet. It's almost like it kind of like maybe it's that sun ripple, you know, when it's really hot. Although I don't think that's what it is. I'm just trying to cover for it a little bit. I think that's a stream... Like, it's just a weird kind of a streaming bug for sure. Wayne says, looks like re-tracking nicely. When I did it, rocks were flying like a hurricane and spread all over the place. Wayne, that's exactly what I was talking about. That's what I was here to test tonight, was whether or not that looked... Because I'll tell you what, I haven't ROC mined in 3.16 at all. And I think even in 3.15, because there was that bug of it swirling around the end of the laser, I just wasn't into it. But that seems to be gone, which is awesome. Desmond said, melted means to trade in an upgrade for your ship. Melted means to trade in. Somebody must have been asking a little bit about melted. What does it mean? Yeah, like if you buy, like, let's say you buy a $45 ship. You can melt that one and then buy a $60 ship and use the $45 in credit. So that's what the melting's about. So, all right, so let's do this, you guys. Let's look here and see if there's a cave mission in the contract manager here. Aberdeen. Yes, this is great, you guys, because this is what we want to do. So we're going to be able to test the hand mining loop now as well. So up we go. I'll bring the gear up. Let's double check that we've got this guy put away correctly. That's just gorgeous. Let's also take a screenshot. Oh boy, hold on. I'm not doing a great job with that. That's so funny. I just want a nice angle on that screenshot right there. How about that? Boom, print screen. Beautiful. Moment in time. Trevor Taylor, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. Trevor saying, how do you like the CO Nomad? Trevor, I really like the Nomad. I'll be honest with you. Especially, it's just kind of it's a sneaky good ROC carrier right now in 3.17. It's doing really well. I'm really enjoying it. We just tested the ROC mining loop, and it looked like they've got that extraction bug cleaned up. So now we're going to go do a little hand mining, and then if we do a little hand, well, I'm not going to do a ton of hand mining. Then we're probably going to look to do a little bit of prospecting maybe at the end of the night. So we'll have to see how that goes. So, all right. So what about this? Let's just kind of look and see where we're at. So this is a long ways away. Oh, it doesn't seem to be that far away from Dobbs, though. Well, that worked out all right. We'll head over to Dobbs and hit that cave, and yeah, man. Colton says, good to be back, just got out of work. So yeah, the Nomad is, you know, I know that a lot of people kind of sleep on the old Nomad, and I understand why. It's kind of in a weird place. But as far as a nice, like a good place to begin with, if you're just a beginner and you want a good ROC carrier and it's a versatile ship, you know, get your kind of feet wet, I think it's fine. She's a little thirsty on hydrogen, if I were to say too much about it. I'm going to kind of ping here, you guys. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and... It's not as close as I'd hoped. Let's go. We'll burn through a little bit of this. We'll just kind of burn over that way. We'll get a little bit of we'll definitely get a little bit of altitude, and we'll burn over that way. So Ramoyne says at Dasman Star Citizen Channel so he's so like just pay the difference in price. Like for a $45 ship, you go for a ship as a pledge and say would be, and just pay the difference. That's exactly what it is, Ramon. That's exactly what melting is. You just pay the difference. Lots of people started out in Star Citizen with they bought the $45 ship, then they upgrade to the $60 ship, then they, maybe a month or two later have another $20 and just spend that 20, and you can kind of work your way up. It's kind of a cool concept, really, where you can kind of keep upgrading until you kind of get into the big ship you want. Wayne says, mining is great. I only bought the Mustang starter and upgrade to the Cutlass Red. I have a big fleet now and bought in game. Yeah, I buy most of my ships in game as well. I definitely agree with that. And that's the thing. If you have the Prospector or the Mole, you can kind of print money. And so we're cruising along pretty good here. We're at a clip of about 1100. So we're really closing on the gap on that cave. We're gonna, it's 120, 119. So we're really, the straight line speed on this Nomad is nothing to sneeze at. That's for sure. And I've never gone in a cave in Aberdeen. I'm sure it's a cave's a cave. Now you guys know the old rules about the caves. You certainly don't want to lay down in a cave. Certainly these planets that have better, more moon-like gravity are better to go into. There are some places you don't want to go down into because you're not going to get back out. Lots of rules, but as far as I just want to go in and test the cave mining loop a little bit. So we're just going to go in there. We're going to look for a Hadnite node, and we're just going to put the mining, the pyro tool on it, and just kind of store a little bit in our backpack and call it good. So one thing I do like about if you use an active ping is it really does kind of give you an idea. Like, I love how it pulses along the surface there and kind of shows you where you need to be. Oh boy, I better slow down. Look at how awesome the boost is here too, you guys. This thing's got boost for days. It is crazy for sure. It's got boost for days. It does. So yeah, I'll go back, when I'm done. I'll definitely go back when I'm done, and I'm gonna put in. I'll put in some some time markers on the old stream for the time, for when we did what we did. All right, so we turned on the light here. Aberdeen is definitely nothing about it is. Now, the one thing about caves, you guys, it's kind of an interesting thing is you got to be careful as you're closing in on them, because the marker will sometimes go away. So you just got to kind of really be lined up well on it. You obviously don't want to be crashing into any geometry or anything, but you do want to make sure that you're kind of dead on it as you approach, because the marker will go away and then you kind of are like, oh boy, where did it go? Dasman says, when I buy my Taurus soon, I'm going to melt my ROC, which I don't really use. Yeah, probably offset a little bit of that. I can understand that. Ramon says, when I do get back to playing on my own account, a Nomad is definitely on my shopping list. It's a fun ship. It really is. I mean, it's a good little rock carrier. Now, a Cutlass Black is obviously is a superior, ship. Like I said, that size 2 quantum drive, big fuel tanks, just more, more firepower, 46 SCU. But there's nothing wrong with the Nomad. There's nothing wrong with it at all. See how the cave marker went away? No. But you can see if you're pinging, you can kind of see the hole right there, so to speak. If you look, you can kind of see it there. Wait, it seems, does this thing have a light? It's a good thing we got active. It's a good thing we got ping here. Now sometimes you can look outside. See if you look outside how it just looks nicer. Oh boy. All right, so let's, you have a little more light out. That's scary out there. This place kind of reminds me of Dagobah or something. I mean, obviously Dagobah's kind of more swampy, but it's just desolate and weird. To be honest with you. Now we're getting some weird. Yeah, I don't know about this parking spot. Let's pick this guy up just a touch. Maybe back up a touch. I like this one better. All right. Let's go in there and do a little hand mining. Yeah, my lights are on, believe it or not. I know the place is scary. Cody Hollow's like, this place. Yeah, it is, man. I agree, man. There's something just... Is there like witches here or something? I mean, it's just, this place is just weird looking, man. Aberdeen is just a crazy, crazy place. So it's going to be hot here, but that's okay. We're just running into the cave. We have a survival estimate. That's not too bad. Alright, into the cave we go, you guys. Now, one of the things I like to do in caves is slow down a little bit. That's an important part of it. Mackerel, you guys. I don't know that I've ever seen a cave quite like this. Alright, we'll have to get down in here and see if there's... Hopefully there's some hand minables in here, but I don't know. This place is spooky. Now you can see it's actually gotten a little more temperate in here now. And that's the cool thing about the caves. Is they are a little more temperate. So we'll begin kind of our search. We're just looking for a hand mining node or two. Now, we've already tested ROC mining, and then that extraction bug was gone. The one bug that I had the last time I went hand mining, boy, I hope that there's a way down here that's reasonably... Okay, so far so good. The one bug that I ran into when I was hand mining was I'd cook the rocks and they just like get to this glowing state, but they'd never pop. Like it was horrible. And I was like, you know, like you just go around and make glow rocks. Like you'd make them glow or whatever, and they'd smolder, but they'd never pop. They'd never like pop and give you the gems. So it's kind of funny. In we go. I would imagine we're gonna start seeing. Now that we're starting to see this yellow on, we'll probably start seeing nodes to mine. Oh hey. I'm just gonna kind of slow down now a little bit and just see if we can. Yeah, look around in here. This game is just crazy, you guys. It really is. Crazy in such a good way. I mean, imagine when there's like alien things and oh man, it's gonna be. Ooh. That's what we're looking for, I think. Could be wrong. Nope, it's nothing. All right. I don't want to get too crazy here. I'm not going to go down in any real crazy. Well, that's going to be apherite right there. Nope, it's hadnite. This is exactly what we're looking for. That's great. It's weird. The hues between apherite and hadnite really do throw me off a little bit. So. Just so you guys know, you know, one of the things about hand mining, it's so cool looking. You know, it's an awesome looking thing to do. But we'll go ahead and focus here on the actual mining part of it. Let me take a look here. Wayne says, flying into a moon, I always put my QT drive on and aim high with full speed once I get around 2,000 meters. Stop cruise control and land with a big angle. Yep. Ramon says, put your lights on. Yeah, I did. I had my first flaming re-entry yesterday. Oh, yeah, those are cool, Ramon, for sure. Dasman says, I was fighting an NPC with a halo a while back and ripped off both front wings and both engines of my Cutlass back. Yeah, I've done that before. Like, I literally landed the Cuddy with literally nothing on it. What does the yellow signify? It just kind of lets you know. It just kind of lets you know that that's kind of where the minables begin. Like, I just have seen that in a lot of caves where about the time you start seeing a lot of the yellow markers on the stones, that's kind of where where a lot of the minables begin. I don't know that there's any real good reason for it. Maybe there is in lore. Rain says that light is a spotlight. I wish Sid can make it some kind of a floodlight. Yes, I agree. Definitely a floodlight would be great. There's no way to ping to see what's available. No, this is an eyeball type thing. You know, there isn't really a ping. When FPS scanning comes on, I'm sure there will be. But FPS scanning isn't a thing. So, yeah, we'll break this guy down and pick up some of these things. And when I first started playing Star Citizen, I hand mined until I could afford a rock. And then I ROC mined until I could afford a Prospector. And then I Prospector mined until I could afford the mole. That's kind of the progression I went through with it. I just want to break this guy down, and let's make sure that she does what she's supposed to do. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's really good. So we have this loop now kind of out of the way. I'm gonna kind of do the storing here. Just kind of curious how fast that's gonna go. Ooh, it's a little faster than it used to be. There used to be a wait state on the storing that was pretty egregious, but that's actually I'm storing actually a lot faster. They've removed that wait state some. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have done hand mining, but there used to be a heck of a wait state, like almost 4 or 5 seconds. I didn't bring any. I do have one of those on me. Let me look at how can I grab one of these. Yeah. No, I don't want to do that. Can I equip this thing? Yes, activate. Yeah, this is exactly what you can do, right? So if you notice, I've activated this I activated that thing. Now I've kind of got some extra light. It's really nice. I should have did that already. It's kind of it is actually really nice of a thing to do. So, it's very helpful. And and of course the other thing that's helpful for is if you come to kind of forks in the in the cave, you can kind of drop them there and they can help you get back. So this would be the hand mining loop, and this is, honestly, I will tell you right now, I don't mind hand mining at all. I like hand mining. Now, I will tell you, this game is going to be a lot spookier when there's when things can go bump in the night, and there's all sorts of stuff here. So, yeah, we don't want to go down any of that. We want to go back the way we came. And now here's the part where I try not to fall to my untimely demise. Yeah, I'm just testing in the PTU. That's what I'm doing here. They've said that, they've really kind of said today in the Monday on the Monday thing that they really do hope to drop the patch. So we've tested ROC mining. Now we just tested hand mining. Now, I mean, these are. These tests certainly aren't exhaustive, you guys, but they are, like, none of this was working a couple of patches ago. Like, when I say none of it, I mean none of it. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, I couldn't hand mine, I couldn't ROC mine. And so, yeah, we've got this stuff done. So we're going to fly back now to RCL1 and grab the Prospector and go just do a touch of prospecting. And yeah, I mean, so, I'm fairly happy with where things are at. There's a very spooky sound in the background, like just kind of like a hollow, like a wind blowing through the caves type thing. Michael Krause, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize, Michael. Do you get lost in SE caves, or is it a one-way in and back out? You can get into spots. The caves are very dangerous. The geometry in them is, you never want to lay down in a cave too much. You don't want to kind of clip through the sides of them. So, like, obviously, and I don't think that it's necessarily answering your question exactly how you want. But there are certainly places where you can get down into that you can't get back out of. So you have to be really careful, Michael, inside a cave. There's lots of places I do not go down into, just because, now. But for the most part, they do kind of, it's one way in, one way out. I've never gone through a cave and came out on the other side of a hill or anything. It's just one of those things. Now, there are some caves that have, hostels in them, and they're quite deep, and you spiral down in them a long ways, but then you kind of spiral back up out of them if you want to get out of there. So, what am I doing here? All right, well, that's 2 loops out of the way, you guys. Pretty happy with that. ROC mining looking good, and hand mining, certainly passable. So that's fantastic. We'll go. Oh, I'm not going to take that off, am I? No, I'm not. We will go ahead and just head back to RCL1 and grab our Prospector and head over to Lyrium and do a little prospecting real quick. Look at the atmospherics I got here, you guys. I'm not gonna be able to fly with this. Kind of looks like I'm at a concert or something. This purple thing. All right, I guess I can put you in here. That was going to be a bit much. That's so funny. Ramon says, I did one of those investigation search contracts and I found the cave very scary and so intense, but I did not. Yeah, a lot of times those people are tucked in really, really obscure places. Where you've got to kind of, sometimes you have to like jump down into a spot that it doesn't look like you can get back out of and that type of thing. And, it's definitely one of those things where I know exactly what you're saying. Like, Chris, when you leave the ship at the ROC, should you turn the engine buttons and shields off so pirates can't find it, or does it matter? Really, Michael, I don't necessarily know that matters a ton, to be honest with you. Let me go to the contracts manager and let me go to the accepted. And I'm going to just go ahead and abandon this guy. I don't know that toggling the shields off is, breaks your EM. I mean, realistically, one of the smartest things that you can do is not necessarily go. It's to like go to like OM marker 1, target OM marker 2, and fly down to the planet's surface. Like don't go to like one of the standard places that you would quantum to. Just fly in. Take the extra 5 minutes and fly in. That's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. And then also, just trying to, not saying a whole lot in chat can be very helpful. Keeping a low profile, just kind of, going and loading up your ROC. And then, one of the things that I like to do, if you're going to ROC on Aberdeen, you pick it up on Bezdek, just kind of, like I said, fly over to OM1, target OM2, fly down to the surface on one of the poles. You're a long ways from anywhere. That anonymity is going to be your best bet in that situation, for sure. But I mean, there are some active pirate groups that are always looking for to get an ROC. Now, I've never been. Nope, that's not true. I have been. I've been pirated one time ROC mining. I think I just got sniped from a distance when I was in the ROC, and then I died, and I'm sure they just came and took the stuff out of the back of the thing. And I always do know, I stream, so at some point somebody's gonna stream, so it's fine, Yeah, Toe Cutter, that's exactly right. It's a really smart thing to do. It's OPSEC or whatever is, just don't. Yeah, if you don't try and not broadcast kind of a whole lot where you're going, what you're up to. If you're worried about pirate stuff. Daz is like, I put Gatlings on my Prospector just in case. I will say, I don't know if you guys caught this, but they did increase the hit points on the Prospector. It seems like a couple of other ships too, but fairly significantly. So it's going to have a little more survivability. Because, I mean, obviously the Prospector's a tin can. I mean, that thing gets... You're not fighting anybody with that a lot. Now, it is kind of interesting with the Gatlings. I'm sure you could kind of... if somebody does fly in front of you, you could probably put a sting on them for a second. One time I did win a... It seemed like it was an Aurora that attacked me in my Prospector, and I'm like, for the heck of it, I just thought I'd fight him. I ended up beating him. Must have been a pretty newbie pilot. I roared with laughter. It's like, man, if you go to pirate the Prospector and he beats you, yeah, maybe you should stick to box missions or something. I'm certainly no combat pilot. Ramon says, I've seen another creator get stream sniped during a live stream. Very intense, but very funny to watch his reaction. Oh, it is funny. I mean, it definitely is one of those things where you kind of can get a chuckle out of it. You're like, it's... And I know, like, in my organization, there's some great guys. And a couple of them, they try and find me on the stream just to, kind of roll up on me and scare me. they're going to get me one of these times for sure. Michael Cross says, I started last month, have a stealth Prospector, have yet to be jumped. Now I have a Freelancer Max, ROC, have been jumped 3 times, full EMP. Now, Michael, are you mining? Where are you mining? Because if you're definitely like hitting like a major kind of spot and just flying away from it, that's going to happen a lot. I think in a situation like that, like, I would definitely just kind of pick a random spot. Like, you really can look at where kind of the cities are laid out and get in between them. But the other thing is, mining at night, the lasers can be seen from a pretty good distance. Now, I know that's on the Prospector, and I know that's on the... And I mean, when I say a good distance, I mean a long, long, long ways. Like way further than you'd possibly think. Like, it's a crazy amount of how... Like, if you're... I know that's specific to Prospectors. I don't know if that's specific to ROC stuff. You know? Do you ROC mine on Aberdeen, or is it on Ariel? Because Ariel's a spot that gets really kind of heavily hunted.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel.
Aberdeen doing sneaky drop-ins, like you said, even decoupled, and ooh, wow, boy, I tell you, that is crazy. Now, that being said, I haven't ROC mined in a while, so.
Proceed to assigned landing bay.
Beautiful. We'll go in here and put her down and go get the Prospector out. Go have a little fun with that. Now, I don't know, and I mean this, I don't know, like, if I can sell the stuff that's... I just have no idea. I don't know if I can pull the stuff out of the back of the ROC. It's a good question. I'm sure I probably would have had to have gone to one of those mining stations to sell. But I don't know. Maybe you can sell the TDD. Boy, I put that down a little rough.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
We'll do a post-flight just for... keep ourselves honest. Kill the engines and in we go. You can sell in it. Mark Raleigh, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. Mark says I can sell in the admin office. So I'll run up there just because I'm curious. Like, I am going to run up there and see if I, like, I'm leaving the ROC in the back of the, Nomad. Let's go see. Let me go see if I can sell with, with it back there. I don't know if it works that way or not. But, yeah, not a name I recognize. Mark, how you doing? Dasman says, you just have to watch your 6 when mining, pan your camera so you can see behind and outside. I mean, the reality is, Daz, I mean, if somebody does decide to target you ROC mining and you're kind of focused on the mining side of it, it's one of those things. I mean, you get, certainly I get tunnel vision. I mean, I get crazy tunnel vision when I'm, when I'm mining, for sure. And so I'm not going to even, should I store it? I'm going to try not to store it first. Well, I'm so torn. I'm going to store it.
Welcome.
Why wouldn't
to
I?
the ROC vehicle retrieval system. Please visit.
Now let's run up to the admin office and I'll just go ahead and see. Toe Cutter says, did they fix the cockpit door? It used to close on me. Which cockpit door are you talking about, Toe? Alrighty, we're going to head up to the Galleria. Store the Nomad. Yeah, I'll store it. I'll go up to the... like I said, this is... Like, I have been pleasantly surprised, honestly, how easy it was to load the Nomad in the back of the... or to load the ROC in the back of the Nomad. I mean, it's... it wasn't flaky at all. It was just fine. Let's see where the admin office is here. Maybe it was down here and I didn't catch it. Yeah, there it is. Wasn't looking like it was where I thought it was at first. Alright. Hey! Hey! We had 80,000. Where else? I can sell out of, I had 10 of those, too. I made, made a little, not even monkeying around, made a little cake. That's alright. A few space bucks. Wow. It seemed like it seemed like there was one, like maybe a patch where you had to go over to like the mining outpost to sell that. Like they wouldn't sell at the admin office. Am I wrong about that? Well, that's how I recall it. But it's been a long, like I said, because of that extraction laser bug where it would just fly around to the end of the laser, which is what I was testing tonight. I just didn't ROC mine. I didn't ROC mine one time in 3.16. That's not true. We did have an organization mining night where we did do some ROC mining, but I didn't personally go soloing one time ROC mining ever in 3.16. And it was just because, for whatever reason, normally Star Citizen bugs, you guys know me. I mean, a lot of you do anyways. I'm okay with them, whatever. I'm groovy. You know what I mean? But that particular one just put me off to ROC mining. I was so... Why did I come down here? I was so happy that to hear that they were addressing that. And so I tested it tonight, and it seems to be better. Hopefully, though, that will remain the case in 3.17. Colton Hill says, I got the 890J mission, and I don't want to do it yet. It seems intimidating. Nah. Just go slow. Take your time. Obviously... it's one of those things where, you want to make sure you have plenty of gear, make sure you do have plenty of med pens. Certainly understand kind of, be familiar with your weapons. Curtis, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. How are you this evening? Welcome aboard. So yeah, you guys, tonight it's gone really well. We took 3.17. We went ROC mining. We tested that extraction bug loop. That's great. We went hand mining. That looked good. Now we're going to just go do a little bit of prospecting. Nothing crazy. Let me do a little pre-flight on the Prospector real quick. Nothing crazy. We're just going to go do a little bit of mining on with the Prospector. I've got the VK000. I've got a FLTRL and a couple of brands. That's what I normally run with. I know it's, different people have different thoughts on the different consumables, and I definitely know there's some folks in here that like surges and stampedes and those types of things. I myself am just kind of an FLTRXL and Brant guy. I like being able to settle the 2.5 instabilities down, on the 100% Quantaniums. And so, yeah. Pad 2. Colton Hill says, very intimidating if you're on your own, but very exciting if you do it successfully. It's true. And obviously it's always nice to, maybe, you can always yell out and see if somebody wants to go with you for sure. Curtis says, doing great, just saying hello. Always showing love. That's awesome, Curtis. I really do appreciate that. Colton says, I usually do use the C54 SMG and the Night Stalker rifle for loadout. I think it's called the C54. Good. That's good stuff. I like both those. Dasman says you're a Brant guy. I am a Brant guy, Daz. You're right about that. And I use the FLTRXL and 2 Brants, and I make, as everyone, as all you guys know, a couple million a week easy, and that's not even trying hard. So, if I put my foot on the gas, I could make a few bucks at Star Citizen in the old Prospector. That's for sure. Alrighty, let's go ahead and we'll head over to Lyria. 2 of the 3 mining loops knocked out of the way today. Oh, you want to know something? I'm going to go ahead and see if they'll top me off here. I'm noticing them a little. Could use a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, you might give me an opportunity to take a little sip of water here. Dasman says, I use a Surge Optimum and FLTRXL. Good choices as well. It's the one thing I really like about mining, you guys, is that people can just go with what they're comfortable with. There's enough variation in it where it's surprisingly, different people like the VAUX C3s. Different people really do choose different things and are very passionate about them. And that's all good. I love it.
Thank you.
Colton Hill says, I need to start making money. I only do cargo missions and search missions as of now. Yeah, Colton, I can appreciate that. Absolutely. And I will say for you guys that are kind of, new to the channel, I'll just mention, please do like and sub. We love having different people on board. I streamed at a completely different time. I normally do not stream this late at night, you guys. And so, it's one of those things where I really appreciate, being able to theorycraft, talk Star Citizen mining, doing the testing, and really enjoying the conversation. I would be, if I wasn't streaming and we weren't talking, maybe tonight I'd be in bed already. But for the most part, I just do the same thing I would normally do. I go mining in Star Citizen. That's what I do. I just mine all the time, prospecting. I adore it. Sometimes go mole mining, sometimes, and obviously with 3.17 coming in, hopefully do a little bit more ROC mining, and definitely a little bit of hand mining even now and then. I enjoy going in the caves. I do. I know it's not the most popular or most profitable thing to do, but at some point you're just looking for experiences, and you definitely have different experiences when you do different things. Colton says, I love that you're streaming this late because I got home from work. I got to watch your live stream. Yeah, that's awesome, Colton. I appreciate that. Lots of people do watch the stream at different times. I've had a lot of people comment that they kind of they treat the stream a little like a podcast. They can kind of, maybe infer kind of what's happening sometimes. And that's kind of cool. I dig it. Off to Lyria we go. And we're going to just go ahead and look for some doublers or some clusters. We're going to find something with a decent percentage in it. And we also are always looking for use cases, right? I'm still looking for like that 7,500 at like 40% that I can throw some mining gadgets on. I have some mining... I should have checked, but I certainly believe I have a bunch of mining gadgets on the Prospector. They've been there. I have no reason to believe that they're not. Yeah. There's Loveridge. We'll go ahead and hit Loveridge. She's only 199. They're sitting there right in the sun. In we go. Late night podcast, fun and learning. Yeah, that's exactly right, Curtis. That's awesome. Ramon says at Colton Hill, have you tried any of those box missions over at the abandoned Kovlek station near Damar? That place is pretty spooky in and of itself, yeah. Wayne says, hey, Ramon, find a corner and just sit there and let the police do their job. That's a good idea. Alright, so in we go. Now we're just kind of... This is old hat here for us, we definitely spend a lot of time in the Prospector, and just gonna kind of come down here and look for something to put the lasers on here. Nothing special. Hopefully we're gonna find a couple, some doublers or something with some decent Quantanium percentages in there, and something maybe out of our wheelhouse. Now remember, the Lancet's really kind of shelf is 5,900, even though doing a 5,900 is hard. Really 5,500, 5,600 is really kind of, for efficiency reasons, is kind of that's kind of your max, size or whatever. Oh, there's a lot of opportunity markers here. Holy smokes. Yeah, so, it'll be interesting to see how this goes, for sure. We definitely have I believe we have plenty of mining gadgets on board, so should be able to have some fun. Now, we're not going to stop for singles. We're primarily looking for doubles, and we're looking for clusters, because those we know are always all Quantanium. What a fun thing, you guys, streaming at a little bit different time, seeing some new faces. That's awesome. Really appreciating that. And obviously some of you guys who always do join and hang out, I love that too, and that's awesome. So normally I do just exactly what we're doing now. Just kind of when we first come down, just circle around a little bit, but then eventually we put our nose towards the towards the sun, and we'll begin kind of heading that way. That way we don't kind of retread the same old ground. You don't want to sit there and fly around in circles too much, you know. When you first kind of, you know, there might be some opportunities around, and you might want to take a look at those, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great thing to do for sure. But I can tell you, if it's not 2 rocks or more, we're not going to stop and look at it. Yeasley says, I played SC. I think there's probably a little more there. I played SC all day. Now I'm hearing good times. Yeah, that's awesome. Nice. That's a good day, Yeasley, for sure. That is for sure. Dasman says, do you think the FLTR is worth the price difference? Oh, yeah, I definitely. I mean, the FLTR XLs, I do like that. It's the one passive that I keep on board. I definitely think it's worth it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kind of close this guy to well, I don't know why it's not 180 degrees, 179 degrees, and we'll keep it honest. Hey, were those doublers? I gotta just double check just to make sure they weren't. I really like that they've really improved the boost. Like, the boost is like a couple of seconds. I think these are doublers, you guys. I flew over them too. Could be wrong. Oh, it's gem icons. Ah, that's why. Yeah, I didn't think it was doublers, but for a minute I noticed it was multiple pips there for a second. Yeah, so we'll just keep on looking for opportunities here. So Colton Hill says, should I get the Freelancer Max or the Constellation Taurus? Both of them are really good ships. You know, if as far as a pure Quantanium hauler, now don't get me wrong, I love the Freelancer Max is a great ship. And I had the Freelancer Max for months and I loved it. My preferred cargo hauler for Quantanium right now is the Constellation Taurus, and that's because it's upgunned from the Freelancer Max. It's got this 2 size 5s, 2 size 4s. It's got plenty of missiles. It's a bit of a gunboat, and it's 174 SCU, which is a little more than the Freelancer Max, and certainly, but a lot less than, say, of course, your like C2, M2 variants. The one thing is there's a limit of how much I actually want to haul. The whole idea of hauling a full M2 or C2 of Quantanium in and losing, having some weird glitch and ended up losing 4 or 5 million, not so appealing to me. So that's the one thing I also do like about so both ships are great. There's a cluster, you guys. That's exactly what we're looking for. Both ships are great, okay? And I adore the Freelancer Max. And the Freelancer Max is also a very good rock hauler. My preference between those two is the Constellation Taurus, and that has to do pretty much with firepower, its missile complement, and the fact that it's 174 SCU. That's the big difference there, and that why I'm a big advocate for the Constellation Taurus. This is a 4,400 mass, and we're not getting a 2%. I knew it was with that big green wedge. It wasn't going to be great, but it's interesting. There's a lot of kind of noises going on here that I don't normally hear in the UI, like scanning noises. Another 2%er there. 5,500 mass and another 2%er there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I've never heard that before. This is going to be a decent rock. 30%er. That's a 30-30. It's a 20 SCU. This is a really nice rock here. Nope. Sometimes that's a deceiving, when that wedge is that small. That's only a 16%er. This is a 30-30 here. So all I really wanted to do was come test the mining part of it. Unless we want to... Let me do this real quick. I just want to double check that I am right. Yeah, I got lots of I got some Bormax, I got some Sibirs, I got some Optimaxes, and some Wave Shifts. So let's do ourselves a favor. Kind of come around this guy a little bit. We'll get back into to the old pilot's chair. Just for funsies, we'll just crack the 7600. You know, because that's a little bit. It's a bigger rock. We'll go ahead. It's not a rock that we can This isn't this size rock here is not a rock that we could break easily with the. So we'll go ahead and attach a mining gadget to it, and I'll put a wave shift on that guy, and we'll bust it with a wave shift. I'm gonna scooch up a little closer here, so I don't have to run as far. All right, turn off the engines. Out we go. You know, I gotta have a little fun. I mean, can't. Now, I believe just one wave shift should do us fine with this. I believe, but we'll reserve the right to go out there and throw another like a Vormax on there if we need it as well. But I think the wave shift should get this thing done. All right. Yeah, Ramoyne's saying, "Hey, Space Shorts, would you mind? Can I land? Look, I mean, you guys can see. Look how big these things are. They're just enormous. Like you really lose perspective when you're up above them, and like they're just unbelievable. They're just huge. They're just enormous. So it's just one of those things that you just kind of never get used to. And so this is just kind of what we're gonna do here is just kind of place this guy. You have to get real close sometimes. There's a spot that will want to go on there. Oh, well that didn't work. Ow, what's this? Store that. There it is. There we go. That's where we're looking for the place there. Okay. I like it. Cool beans. We'll kind of wait for this guy to do what it needs to do. Already at 77%. Okay, we got that up to 82. We got to get that in the 90s there to activate. All right. Well, that's good. And the axle scatter here, we'll kind of go this direction. 91. You can kind of tweak this out a little bit. Sometimes. 98's the highest I've seen it go before. I don't even know that it matters. I think just getting it into the activate is what you're looking for. Wayne says, so why so many gadgets in your ship? Are you gonna lose? You're gonna lose them if a 30K happen. You know, if a 30K happens, there is 30K protection. So generally speaking, now that there's with the 30K protection, if you 30K, which I actually have one time, it just reloads them. You know, your ships. You just retrieve your ship, but when you retrieve your ship, it will say Stanton. So yeah, I don't worry about that stuff too much anymore, Wayne. I mean, it's just one of those things. All right, up we go. Got the mining. We'll see how this goes.
Extraction mode on. Load on. Fracturing mode on.
I'm gonna swing around here, and we're gonna kind of use the dark of the. We're gonna kind of put the we're gonna get some contrast here. I'll loosen up the laser with G, and we're just gonna see how we do. Now, the instability is pretty high here. Now, and the resistance you can see is 0.29. It takes kind of a server tick normally. Like, if you watch the resistance, right, it's 0.29. But I believe it will come down. it'll tick and come down. That's what it had been doing in the past. We'll have to keep an eye on it. So yeah, on this particular rock, you can see the resistance, how it dropped down, you guys. I can get out QuantCalc, and I can tell you, see how that wave shift changed the instability and the resistance, and now you can start to see like I should start being able to build some energy into it. And I have other things that I can put on it if it's going to be grumpy. But hold on, I'll tell you. I'll see if I don't know if I have this thing chart. I do. Let me tell you how. So this, I'm pulling out QuantCalc, and I can tell you how much AUC is in or how much SCU is in this rock. Give me just a second. I will definitely do that. And yeah, we may have to put a Bormax on this guy. It's definitely not being that nice. So this is a 7675. And I will put in it's 16%. This is probably going to be around like 25 or 22 or something. 24.56 SCU. So let's go ahead and do this a little bit, you guys. This is one of the things I know. Agitating can definitely be a thing on these rocks. Believe it or not, it's a weird meta. But I've seen it working before on these big boys. Doesn't seem to be working this time, though. That's okay, though. We'll run out and stick a different one on there. So we'll just do that real quick. And that's why we pick these rocks that are a little bit bigger than what we normally do. Oh, gotta drop the gear again. And I will just go ahead and throw another mining gadget on there. Hey, I picked kind of a rough place to land, maybe? I think that'll be alright. I will go throw a Bormax on this guy as well. I can agitate the beam if I need to. This will get the resistance really low. It will drop significantly lower. All right. And we could certainly fly around and look for a better rock, you know. I mean, I certainly could do that, but I don't. For our purposes here, this is going to be fine. This is one of the weird things. We're not seeing place. Alright, so let's just kind of do this. Alright, it just kind of fell. Alright, well that's kind of curious. We'll grab it again. Yeah, it seems to kind of like once you kind of drop it on, it's like something happens there and it just kind of helps it along. So, all right, we'll kind of get this guy going here. What's going up there? It's in the 80s there. No, it fell out there. I have to wipe my visor here in a second, I think. Let me do that real quick. Action. Player. Wipe. There we go. Thank you. There we go. We'll activate this Bormax on this guy as well. Good. All right, let's see if we can break it now. No, I don't know if they could have rebalanced these. I mean, I broke like a great big old rack the other day with, stacking a few of these on here. Desmond says, adding the mining gadgets will definitely add some different layers. I agree with that 100%. All right. I do. I agree with that 100%. You can see we've got both of the... and you can see the resistance is still 0.07, right? That's where we left it. Here's the other thing I'm kind of curious about. Can I overclock? The other day I could... Doesn't seem to be doing it anymore. That's okay. We'll wait for the server tick for that for the resistance to go from 0.07. It'll probably drop to like 0.02. Yeah, and it is weird, like you just kind of wait because you're waiting for like a kind of a tick or something to kind of happen there that would lower that resistance. Yeah, SCU stands for Standard Cargo Unit. That's exactly right. See how the resistance just dropped to 0.01? That's what I was talking about, you guys. I wonder if they've done something with these. They were working a little better before. I mean, certainly, I broke a 7,000 before with one wave shift before. This guy's really falling out, and I'm in a 0.1 resistance. So yeah, I don't know. Definitely just falling out. It's 100% falling out. Interesting. I wonder if they've rebalanced these a little bit, because it's definitely not acting the same way as it was before. Hard to say. I mean, it's a 0.101 resistance. I understand it's a big rock, but... I mean, before, that's very interesting. I'm certainly not worried about the instability level. Yeah, closer when the laser touched the rock, back up a little bit. When nearly reached the green zone, back and back. It's not... Yeah, look, it's falling out. It's definitely not going to keep a charge in there. I'm just going to leave it cook for a minute and just see what happens. Interesting. It really is interesting. Like, if you guys go back and look, I was breaking rocks this size before with these mining gadgets. And so it does make me wonder if maybe they've rebalanced them a little bit. Well, put the gear down again. I'm going to go stick another Bormax on there just for fun.
Landing gear down. Engines off.
Now, you can't really go below 0.01, you don't think. But it's just kind of a curiosity of mine. But, I mean, it's fun to stick these things on here. Whether or not you'd ever do this stuff is, you know, I mean, this use case is not great. I put 4 on I put 4 on one rocket, you know, before Ramoy, that's for sure. Oh, what am I doing? This is fun, you guys. It's a little ridiculous to do, but it's fun. Now it is weird that it's like you're not finding the spot like right off the bat to place it. But then if I just do this, it falls on the ground. Then if I just kind of pick it up, then all of a sudden the place is there. So yeah, I mean it's just strange. That was kind of the way it was working in space too, by the way. I should admit. Like I was having to kind of deal with it the same way. Look at this -12 and stuff. Oh, I had never seen minus before. That's interesting. Wonder if that's how they're going to balance it out. Like you can't quite get to 90 anymore or something. $88. Oh, I wonder. It does look like there's maybe been a rebalancing pass here. We'll have to see. Oh, maybe not. Oh, and there's 98. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. All right. I'd never seen a negative number on that UI before. All right, let's go try this. Now, you'd almost have to think you're going to get into the soft stats because I was in an instability of 0.01. What am I going to have, like a 0.25 now or something? I mean, I guess. You know? 0.025? We'll have to see. Remember, it takes a little bit of a time before you kind of get the... I am a little weirded out about the fact that you used to be able to... Let's see, power. Oh, it did it. It did it that time. There we go. Alright, now we've overclocked too, so... Alright, well let's see what we get. Now the instability is pretty yucky here, so it's going to swing pretty wildly. Oh, you know, it's just for testing, Daz. I wouldn't, yeah. Daz is saying I have a lot of patience with these gadgets. This wouldn't normally be the normal thing that we do. I mean, I'm just kind of having some fun with this, testing it a little bit and enjoying it. And I'm gonna wait for a server tick and see if all of a sudden this thing builds energy into it. It's more for just kind of science and enjoyment than anything. Oh, it went down. Look at the resistance is 0 now, you guys. So it did go. It did change. This is weird, though. I could break bigger rocks. You know, I could absolutely break rocks that were bigger than this before, though. That's what's strange to me about this a little bit. I mean, I've never gotten over 20% on this thing. Huh. Well, I will tell you, that's a surprise to me. I think they might have did a rebalance pass on these. And that's just fine. It's good to learn. You know? All right, well, that's that. I mean, that's about as much as I'm going to give that a try. I mean, that just wasn't working. So we'll have to kind of think about that a little bit. Hopefully they don't have it so over, like, kind of fixed to the point where you know, where Where you still, you know, you can't even do like 6,000s and stuff like that. That would be bad. We'll actually do a little mining here, and we'll do this 30-30. I was really surprised. I assumed we would just... I mean, if you go back and look at the streams, I had broken 7,500s up before, no problem. Easy break right there. Nothing too hard. Nothing. You know, pretty easy break. And that's going to be a nice percentage right there. That's a hundo. That's good. We'll just go ahead and break that guy up with the Brant. Easy peasy. Oh, that's a good point. Ramon says, I just noticed that the other rocks are kind of shimmering around. Yeah, they are. The streaming is still a little weird. I know that I know that they've got some back-end stuff going on. Like, they're trying to get the streaming just dialed in just right. And I think it probably has to do with persistence and you know, and you know, the streaming tech is a little bit, it is in a weird place a little bit, for sure. Hopefully they get that figured out. That's a 13%er. That's going to have nothing. That's a big old purple. 328. That's 100%. That's nice. This is probably going to have maybe a nothing in it. Okay. Then there's this 13%er. Oh, alright. Hurry up here and get as much out of this Brant as I can. Got about 7 seconds left on the Brant. I dialed her back to 7%. It'll be interesting to see what this... Oh, it's a 1.25 instability. That's no bad. That's not bad at all. It's only 13% in here. Easy peasy. Alright. Let's extract this over here. It's a 6 SCU of the good stuff right here. Brianna, how are you doing this evening? Nice to see you. How have you been? 6.57. There's a lot of the... We're just monkeying around. We were testing all the mining loops tonight. In 3.17, making sure that they're looking good, and yeah, I'm pleased to report that they have worked pretty good tonight. Nothing in that one. There was around 20 SEU in this rock, so nothing crazy. Alright, what do we got here? Is that one of the pieces of that hundo? No, that's a nerd. This guy doesn't have anything in it. What about this guy? One of these had a little bit in it. No. Yeah, I'll grab that a little bit there. So it was right around 20 SEU. Alright, over a little over 19. There's nothing there. Anything in there? Just a little bit. Oh, there's a little guy right there. What is this guy? 0.74. No, I'm not doing that. Grand Joe says, nice, that's good to hear. I'm doing well, thanks. Saw your first load in the hopper for 3.17. Yeah, that was kind of fun. A uni right off the bat. Yeah, this is just nothing, you guys. I was just monkeying around. All right, well, we'll haul this in.
Mining mode off.
The thing I was really most interested in testing tonight was the ROC mining, and that turned out really well. I was really happy to see that that extraction bug is gone. I mean, we broke a couple of nice clusters, and yeah, I mean, that was really one of the most important things was just double checking that part of it was working a little better, and I'm really happy about that because, you know, I love ROC mining. I really love that loop. And I just wasn't able to do it much, you know. It is a little, I will say, I'll have to go back and do some more testing with the mining gadgets. You know, of course, I broke big rocks with those mining gadgets, but it looks like that maybe they've had a little bit of a rebalance pass. So, Colton Hill says, "Can you mine without the ship?" Yeah, Colton. Tonight I did some hand mining, so I had like the Pyro multi tool, and I mined by hand. And then tonight I drove the ROC around, which is the remote ore collector. That's like it's like a little 4x4, a little four-wheeler that's got a mining arm on it. And I did some mining with that as well. So we did hand mining, we did ROC mining, and we did prospecting on the stream here tonight. So I'm really happy. Every mining loop got tested. It seemed to work, and that's a really good thing. That reminds me, what happened with that one you set to refine at the refinery? When it's finished refining, what happens next? Well, you know what? We're flying right back to ArcL1 right now. I can show you. We'll run down to the refinery when I go to take this one in, and I'll show you how that would work out the next part of it. Rushman, welcome to the channel, Rush. Not a name I recognize. And, hey, warm welcome. How are you, sir? Are pirates an issue in mining? Rushman, they can be, for sure. It's now... Don't get me wrong. Let me just be kind of perfectly honest. Let's say I've gone prospecting on 1,000 runs, and that's probably no exaggeration. I've been pirated twice. So I mean, you know, can you be pirated? Yes. Is it rampant? Absolutely not. You know, so you know, it's one of those things. I mean, you got to keep your head on the swivels. You know, the universe is dangerous, no question about it. But I can tell you that for the most part, if you follow some key guidelines, mine during the day and that type of thing, normally you do okay. Wayne Gaines says, what happens if you get a rock with 0% in the way of your QT rock? Well, I mean, until there's some kind of a mechanism where you have kind of have some kind of a tractor beam or something, really there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's in the way. RH says, you left your mining gear attached to that 7K rock. How much did you get set back? Good question, RH. RH, I'm just testing. This is the 3.17 it's the test PTU. I probably had this been the regular game, I probably would have snuck out and recovered those. It's an excellent question. That was probably about that's probably a good, let's see, 45,000 AUEC on that rock that I left there. RH Wells says, yeah, so that's, RH, that's exactly, I left 45 grand on there. And it's a good point. Tookus, how you doing today, Tookus? Nice to see you. I just got here. How's the rock extraction? Is it good now? Tookus, if you go back and watch the stream, and if I'll put markers in there when I ROC mined nice big hadnite clusters, and the extraction bug was gone. So yeah, man, I was super thrilled. That was the main reason I did the stream tonight, was to test the ROC stuff. Of course, you know me, I'm a prospecting fool, but seeing it brought a tear to my eye that the ROC extraction bug seems to be, at least in this patch currently, in really good shape. I mean, it worked great for sure. Brianna Joy says, I think piracy will become more common with the cargo refactor. Oh, I agree with that 100% with Brianna. I think it will absolutely become more common with the cargo refactor for sure. Truly will become, I definitely think that, when people can actually stop your cargo ship and get your cargo physicalized off your ship, it's going to become a lot more prevalent. I agree with that. Tukas says, I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, Tukas, when I get done with the stream tonight, you can see you see what happened there, guys? That elevator almost tried to take me out. When I get done with the stream tonight, I'll put in some time markers for the ROC extraction bug, seemingly fixed, for the hand mining, and also for the prospecting mining. So, you guys can at least look at that. I won't mark when I threw the $45,000 for the mining gadgets on there and couldn't break the rock. Like I said, that's actually a little bit different to me. As you guys know, if you've checked out the stream earlier, I was breaking like 6,000, 6,500, 7,500s, and I broke an 8,300 with mining gadgets in the Lancet. So there maybe was a balance pass there that they've gone back and tweaked those down a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see like how much that actually comes into play. Now, the one meta that you guys have to remember, for the rented Prospector, those mining gadgets are a dream come true. You can actually take and put those on, recover them. I mean, you really can. It really does make the rented Prospector more of an option. You need to be careful with your selection, and you really do want to recover them. Obviously, if you're in a rented Prospector, you're really trying to maximize your gains. But I think, I do think that there's a meta there for the rented Prospector to use the mining gadgets for sure. Wayne Gaines says, in a mole, you can suck that 0% rock. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely. What Wayne's saying is the mole has 96 SCU of cargo space, and you know what? If there's a extra 0%, if there's some crappy rocks in the way, you can just suck them up. I mean, no big deal. I mean, that's definitely one of the super big advantages of the mole is it's got a lot more headroom for those garbage rocks. That's for sure. Ramoin says the cargo refactor is definitely going to put a hostile. Yeah, it's going to make a lot more hostile universe. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot more dangerous. You're absolutely right about that, Ramoin, for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to go. I think we should have a refining job here. We should have one completed, right? Because I had that full uni. So this is the part where, look, you guys, this is we'll go ahead and set up the work order for this one. Here, I'm just going to choose the Quantanium. I'll just do the Dynic solvenation, and I'll get the quote, and I'll confirm that. Now, here's the part where, like somebody was asking a little earlier, Murlor says a lot more suckage. Yeah, there's a lot more suckage in the mole. That's true. Murlor, nice to see you. How you been, sir? So, if you look here, the work order is complete. I get to choose my different ships, right? Well, I'm going to throw this guy right in the constellation Taurus. So if you take a look, it's right in the constellation Taurus. We'll go ahead and collect that. Now, here's an interesting thing, and we'll go look real quick, and I'll, just so you know, so I've thrown that in the Taurus. Now we'll go sell that real quick. And so, just so we've done everything in the mining loop. Possibly. Lovebird, how are you tonight? Nice to see you, Lovebird. Welcome aboard. And so, yeah, we've done ROC mining tonight. The extraction bug is fixed. We've done some hand mining tonight. That worked great. We've done some prospecting tonight. Oh, no. There's that silly... You guys, the most dangerous thing in the verse right now is the elevators in the refinery. I forgot to tell you guys that. They are, like, when they ghost past you, they actually slam into you and knock you. So I died. It's no big deal. I mean, I've set my imprint to this exact place. But that's one of the literally the most dangerous thing in Star Citizen's universe for me right now is that stupid elevator. It's killed me so many times. They really need to get that part. That's really going to, so people are going to be grumpy about that. I mean, I think it's funny. Other people probably aren't going to think that's very funny. Caglass says, mining under their influence, too many wobbly pops? No, man, I was, no wobbly pops tonight for this guy. You know me better than that, Cag. Come on. No, we, I really enjoyed the ROC extraction bug is gone, and that's that's really kind of the most important thing, is that. So we're going to throw on our favorite suit of armor that we do not get to wear nearly enough because we're always so scared of losing it. And that's this Quicksilver Gray Cat. Throw on a sidearm. We'll load up some ammo. We'll definitely throw some utility, on there as well. This guy here, I will put one of these on there. I'll put this guy on here. One of these, one of those. It's a pretty quick way to get to the top, of the, it's certainly a fast way to get out of the refinery, having the elevator physicalize against you, kill you, and kind of. Whoa. There's something going on. Something going on there. Good thing you have infinite clothes. Yeah, it's true. I mean, so anyways, as you know, we did load up into the Prospector. Now, we wouldn't normally do this, but, we'll have a little fun. I mean, some people don't know how the game works. So after you get the Prospector runs refined, you load them up into your cargo hauler, and then you haul them over and sell them. And we're just going to do that for fun now. Obviously, most of this tonight has just been for fun anyways. But we'll just go ahead and do that just so anybody who has never done the mining loop kind of understands the last part of it. So this is like, you've went out mining, you've refined, now you're on your cargo run. Lovebird says, what in the world is that armor? The fit is looking good. This is the Aero Gray Cat. The Aero Gray Cat armor. Oh, I forgot to put the backpack on him, Can't be doing that. Let's put the backpack on too. The Gray Cat armor, yes. This is my favorite suit of armor. Especially, I really love the Quicksilver. This particular color is fantastic. Here, I'll do this. Yeah, I love this. I love this suit. So here, I'll move the camera around a little bit and get you a look as a little better view. Yeah, this is my favorite suit of armor in the game for sure. All right, in we go. It's industrial armor. Just it's not, it doesn't have any like the crazy environmental suit stuff, but it's good. Murlork says, oh, nice, kind of getting bored of quant mining. Also nice to point the ROC mining newer to players to want to make money. Yes, exactly, and hand mining too, Murlork. So I did some hand mining tonight. I'm like I said, when I go back in the stream tonight, I definitely will put the time markers in there. And hey, I mean, if any of you guys like mining content, give me a like, man. I've only said that twice in the stream tonight, by the way. I keep forgetting. Brianna says, they said your imprint will degrade over time. Yeah, Death of a Spaceman, absolutely. There is going to be where, like, your body kind of gets more and more damaged, and eventually you do lose, and your stuff kind of passes on to your next of kin. It's a weird thing. I don't necessarily know that I understand it all, but that's okay. I don't need to understand it all. Wayne says, what is your CPU and GPU, please? What is your frame rate now? Good questions. So I'll go ahead and hit tilde, and I'll hit R and tab, and that will put in our display info. I'll hit 4, and we'll come back out of here. That's a great question, really. My current frames are hovering around 36 or so. I have a 3900X and a 3070. I play at 1440p. And of course, my frames are a little, I am streaming at the time, so, I have OBS running in the background, and I do have, the chat running, keeping an eye on that. So, not the best frames in the world. I usually do a little better than that, but yeah, that's what they are. It's 36 right now. So, all right. So I think we marked. Yep, we did. Up we go. Raise the gear. We'll go ahead and spin up the quantum drive, and off to ArcHope we'll go ahead and sell the stuff that we have, so people can kind of see the last part of the game loop, which is what do you do with your refined Quantanium.
Thank you.
Ramon says the best thing to do is not die in the first place. It's true. The one thing I'll tell you though is, there's Star Citizen will find its ways to get you. And I don't mean that in a mean way. You guys know I love this game, but there's certainly a set of there's death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, it'll find ways to get you for sure. So, yeah. So yeah, I am really. Hey, look at my frames are up to 42 when I'm in Quantum now. That is really weird. Look I'm getting 50 frames a second in Quantum. I was sitting on the pad doing nothing, getting 36 frames, but I'm getting 50 frames now while I'm cruising around. Pretty much the next of kin thing makes it so you keep your belongings, don't lose all your rep. That's exactly right, Brianna. Lovebird says, so I did end up picking up the Expanse. Didn't know the Prospector was one of the loaner ships. That's kind of great. I didn't realize. I thought it was the Misk Kore was the loaner ship. I didn't know they were giving a Prospector out as a loaner ship for that. I mean, I think it's a great loaner ship. Don't get me wrong. Now, one of the things when I go to Area 18 that I like to do, and I'm just happy that it's an option right now, is we'll cruise over. We'll kind of let this cool down. I have the stock drive here. I haven't went and bought the XL1. I normally would have that on my Taurus, but I don't right now, just because we're in testing. So the cooldown's done. Never a bad idea to fly to Bikini Point before you turn towards our old friend ArcCorp Area 18, and then go ahead and work our way down there. This just kind of helps assets stream in. I tend to find a little bit. It's usually a little less laggy going to Area 18. Now, it's not perfectly non-laggy, but it helps. Oh, the Reliant Kore and the Prospector are both the loaners, Lovebird says. I didn't know that, Lovebird. Ramon says he's got a 1080p Ryzen 5 2600 and a 1050 Ti. Plays at 1080p. Yeah, I play at 1440p. No idea what my framing is, but I get very little judder and stutter. Yeah, I mean, I certainly get my, some stuttering for sure, here and there, but nothing terrible. But I think I am, just because I do this kind of, I make videos and stuff. I do think it may be on later this year. I hope to make an investment in 4K. We'll have to see how that goes. It's nothing set in stone, but anyways, here we kind of coming in. Beautiful, beautiful ArcCorp. The old Constellation Taurus. Love, love, love this ship. And I really am loving the one key. I really am loving, you guys, the one key call for landing. It is just the dream. So we're bringing in our refined Quantanium. Oh, remind me, I want to look in the back to see. I wonder if they're physicalizing that stuff yet. So yeah, I'm getting 30 frames a second landing, and that's not terrible landing in ArcCorp. I mean, all things considered. So I just hit the key to call for landing. That may have been not close enough. We'll have to see. Connie Taurus was my starter ship back in the day. I love the Connie Taurus. I mean, it's a great ship. They do say that, and we'll talk about this in just a sec when I land the Taurus. I'll show you guys, because I'm going to run it back. I'm just kind of curious if they're physicalizing. RH says, you need to show us more often when you sell your product. Most of the time it's watching you mine with rocks, but just to see how much money you end up with is inspiring for us newbies. You know what, RH, this isn't going to be a massive run. But I understand that. That's more than fair what you're saying. I get that for sure. I don't do the trading run part of it, is because, as you can imagine, this is the part that's, where, especially when the physicalized cargo becomes a thing, you're not going to really want to advertise that you're you know, what you're up to with this part of it. So anyways, here we go. Little spatial awareness here you need. In we go. Might have done this a time or two. And yeah, that's so we just landed there. Now that's not a perfect landing, but you know, not too bad. We'll take it. And yeah, we'll do a little post-flight here. Kill the engines. Darth Matter, welcome to the channel. Not necessarily a name I recognize right off the top, you know, thinking about it. I'm just kind of curious. Nope, you can see the Quantanium's in here, but it's not in here. Now, this is the one thing I wonder about, Brian. I was just going to say, you know, Info Runners have said that this area back here is supposed to be where this would normally be where the snub is, right? They say this is supposed to be on the Taurus. This is supposed to be shielded cargo. Meaning, like, if I was ROC mining, I could put the boxes back here, and if somebody came along and scanned, they'd be like, man, he doesn't even have anything yet. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. That's supposed to be like a shielded cargo area. I just adore this ship. I really do. Down we go. We'll go ahead and we'll go over to the TDD and we'll sell the Quantanium. And so you guys know kind of how that works. And I'm happy to do it. Yeah, maybe I was a touch. That was a touch tight. Oh, we did it. Brianna says, that's crazy. I hope that's true. Yeah, I think that's what Info Runners was saying, Brianna, was that area back there is supposed to be shielded cargo. That means, like, if you're putting stuff in there and you get a scan from the outside, it's not supposed to show up on the scan. Now, if they end up doing that, the Taurus is going to be sneaky cool. I mean, that's a hell of a space to have, you know, potentially shielded from scanning for sure. Tuka says, just look back in the stream and found the rock footage. Really excited for that. Tukas, didn't that look good?
Welcome.
Honestly, didn't that look really cool?
Retrieval system.
All right, so we'll store the Taurus. It's always an important thing to do. And it goes to retrieve, and we're in good shape. Now we'll head over to the TDD, and we'll sell the load of Quantanium that we put on the Taurus. Now, it's weird. It doesn't look like it's in there, but it always is, or at least it always has been in 3.16. It's one of those things that can scare the bejeebus out of you the first time you go to load up all your Quantanium, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go look at it and marvel. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to run. Don't you shut on me. Okay, I made it. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's just one of those things. So Wayne says, can you sell QT in the admin? No, we're going to go to the TDD. It's the trade district. So yeah, you know, we're hitting all aspects of mining tonight, you guys. We hand mined, we ROC mined, we prospected, and now we're doing our cargo run. You know, you guys have gotten to, you know, if you watch this stream, you really will have gotten at least a decent sense of all the different mining loops. I haven't hit every nook and cranny. You guys, I do want to say something to you though. I am getting 52 FPS in ArcCorp. I've never gotten 52 FPS in ArcCorp before. Now it's going down a little bit, you know. But for a minute there, I was getting over 50 FPS in ArcCorp. That's pretty amazing. I'll tell you right now, that is unusual. It's not normal to get. Now it's, you know, it's gone red there. It's, you know, as I've kind of gotten into where it's streaming a lot more assets right now. There's a lot of NPCs and things there, but wow, that's crazy. Oh, Wayne says, go to the admin first to see if you can sell there. I'll go do that. You know, Wayne, I'll do that. I'm sure you can't, but I could be wrong. And I mean, let me say it this way. I'm not sure. I shouldn't say I'm sure you can't. What I mean by that is I've tried that before in the past and it didn't work that way. That's what I meant. Brianna Joy says, I wonder if the hidey hole on the MSR is the same way. You know, yeah, the hidey hole on the MSR is supposed to be the same way, only it's not nearly as big of a space. Geesley says, I just traded my Max for a Taurus today. Does the physical cargo never spawn in her? Geesley, it will spawn if it's like Laranite or Terranite or that kind of stuff sometimes. I've never seen it physicalize if it's Quantanium. I don't know why. I'm just letting you know. And so we'll head over to the admin just because I think Wayne was asking if you could sell at the admin office.
Area 8 needs a Premier Center for business development.
Yeah, it's not here. We'll hit sell again. Backpack. I don't have anything in there. But let's run over to the TDD now. So it doesn't look like I can sell the Quantanium there. But I was happy to look for you, Wayne, for sure. Look, yep, 32 FPS as I'm kind of running through the center here. It's not bad, you guys. I mean, it's not. I think it's running fairly well, to be honest with you. Ramoy says, "Is it just me or does everything look better?" I'll tell you what does look better is every single one of these screens. Like, they really seem to have done a good job with these screens. That type of thing. So we're going to go to sell here. Constellation Taurus. There it is. Now, this was just one run. Okay, this was one time taking the Prospector out. It was a full unicorn run. So I did maximize the Prospector. But this one run was 267,520 after, after I did the refining. Now, it would have been a little better had I refined on CRUL1. That has a Quantanium bonus. But that's just one run out in the Prospector. The best run you can do, but still one run for 267,520. So there are many times if you're taking 4 or 5 or 6 runs that you're 6, 7, 800,000. RH Wells says, I'm heading to bed. I got meetings all day tomorrow. I like your stream. It's a great substitute for Gold Rush in the off season. RH, thank you so much for joining tonight. I know it's late. I'm going to be getting to bed myself here pretty soon. But yeah, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely night. Wayne says, thank you. Yeah, no problem, Wayne. I was happy to help. Tukis says, feel like taking bets on a release day for 3.17. Tukis, I don't know if you guys caught that, but earlier today, they said that they are pushing to release it this week. So, I mean, does that mean that they won't hit some kind of a major stumbling block? No. But they did say they're definitely pushing for this week. So, that's interesting. Matt Larkin says, are you trying to sell raw Quantanium? No, Matt, by the way, Matt, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. How are you today? Matt, no, I had refined some Quantanium. We're in 3.17. The other day I had done a run in the Air and Halo and got a unicorn, a 32 SCU run. It was so funny. The first bit of 3.17 prospecting I did, I got a uni out of it. Yeah, but I just had some refined Quantanium that I, like tonight, Matt, just you probably haven't been here for much of the stream, but tonight I did some hand mining, tested in 3.17. I did some ROC mining, tested in 3.17. That extraction bug's gone, by the way, for at least for now. For the ROC, I did some prospecting and I did a cargo run just because hitting all the major areas of the mining loop, just for some posterity, just for science and joy, mostly joy. Raymond says, that thing you did to bring out your frame rate, can that be done in the PU? Yes, exactly. It can. Watch, Raymond. So, Raymond, so if you hit tilde, this pops open, and then you can just hit R, and then you hold tab. And in this case, I'll hit 0, and then hit enter, and then if I hit tilde again, see, it's gone. But if I hit tilde again, you can just R tab, and there are different versions of it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like if I hit 1, tilde, see how it's just the frame, just that little bit of information? Or you can just hit tilde R tab 2, and it's a little more information. That has the B-win in it, which is, kind of one of those things that you look at, one of those things. Daniel DeCruz, how are you, Daniel? Nice to see you. So, yeah, that's how that works. It's one of those things where it absolutely works in the PU as well. And it's a good way to test your frame rates and to see how your performance is. One of the most important things is there's the B-win. Like, here, I'll do it again. Tilde R tab 2. And you can see, like, there's the B-win value. It's like the 5th line up. It's going to be really small in the stream, I'm sure. But notice that that's like it's like 1, if that ever falls to 0, you know that the server is going to 30K. That's just one of the ways that I, that it was used before, for sure. Tuka says, off to bed, but thanks a ton for the stream. I learned exactly what I needed, LOL. Keep up the good work and have a good night. Tukas, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I'm glad that you're getting some benefit out of what I did tonight. It means the world to me that you stop by and talk and participate, and I really can't thank you enough. So, Daniel, it's nice to see you. How you been? Brianna says, there's a lot of polish in 3.17, and the bugs are slowly getting better. This patch needs to be solid for Invictus in May. I agree with that, Brianna, for sure. They definitely, and here's the other thing. I don't know what your guys' experience has been, but my experience in 3.16 has been, it's been very, very stable. Like, I probably have gotten less than, I think, if I'm not mistaken, probably 230Ks in all of 3.16. That's it. That's like it's been so good and stable. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, I don't think that they want to launch and have it be terribly unstable. But I will tell you guys, since I've logged in tonight, I mean, I have gone, like, we started on an ARC-L1. I got myself prepared. We spawned the Nomad. The Nomad already had the ROC in it from when I had saved it before. We flew over to Aberdeen. We ROC mined. We hand mined. We then flew back to ARC-L1. I picked up the Prospector. We flew to Lyria. We prospected. We flew back to ARC-L1. We went to the refinery, and we're back here on ArcCorp, and we're about to head back to ARC-L1. So, and I haven't 30K'd since I've been on. So I mean, it's been pretty stable. I mean, considering, we've been all over doing all sorts of different types of things, like colliding all sorts of things that collide when you load ROCs into Nomads and do that kind of thing. We swapped into Pembroke suits, different kinds of armor. We've done a lot of stuff tonight. So Geesley says, I've seen lots of 3.16, 3.17 videos comparing planet moon textures, and the differences are amazing. There really are a lot of quality of life improvements. Hurston, in particular, looks fantastic with the cloud tech. So we'll pull the tourist back out, you guys. Wayne says, enjoying your streaming. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Wayne. That's very kind of you. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me when you guys come and like and sub. And what's great is I've streamed at a really kind of odd time, so I've seen a lot of new faces tonight, which is really cool. I mean, and obviously a lot of familiar faces too. I mean, and that's been great, so it's really nice. I mean, I really, here's the thing I'll tell you guys, and I mean this with all due respect. When I started to stream like 2 or 3 months ago, I just was kind of like, thought it would be like a fun skill set to learn in case my 11-year-old ever wanted to do it. And I thought it would be kind of cool if I could find some other people to mine with. And, out of that has come this amazing thing. I really enjoy streaming. I do. I really enjoy talking to you guys. I mean, I really enjoy all the theory crafting, people telling funny stories, people sharing their wisdom and their knowledge about mining. I've learned way more from you guys than I could have ever taught any of you. So it's been a real pleasure, honestly, to start this stream and have a little mining community. Oh my gosh, Brianna's absolutely right. Brianna, the biggest quality of life improvement is exactly this one thing. And it's just like, I'm just going to press one button. No UI has been opened. And if you guys can hear up above, They're opening. I know. That particular thing, above all things, is so lovely. It's just the ATC one button push, and, you know, that's a huge quality of life improvement. Wayne says, what's your handle in game? I'm looking forward to meeting you to say hi. It's V_V_V. And a good, it's right here. You can see it there. Yep, that's me, and you're, yeah, always welcome to hang out in game and chat, and you know, I love going mining with people, so yeah, man, feel free. Now out we go, and we're gonna do one of these things here. I love it when the sun's up on our corp. Pull the gear up. I mean, what makes Star Citizen is just stuff like this, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take myself a nice little screenshot. Gonna nose up a touch. We're just gonna cruise out slowly and enjoy. I mean, I rest my case. I mean, what game is cooler than this? Seriously. What? I mean, look, I mean, you know, it speaks for itself. I mean, you know. You know, we just did our space runs. We just did our, you know, we just mined on moons. You know, I mean, seriously, it brings a tear to my eyes. So it's just the brilliance of this game, the sheer audacity of this game, just brings a tear to my eye. It really does. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna, you know, we'll go ahead and spool up and get some altitude and head back to ArcL1. Frank Jager, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. How are you, sir? Nice to see you, Frank. How's the Quanta? Frank, that's an excellent question. I did just mining loop stuff tonight. I have noticed kind of some oddities with kind of refueling now and then, but for the most part, I think Quanta's been fine. But I can honestly say I'm not probably going to be the best at you know, I haven't done a lot of trading in 3.17. I mostly focus on what I like to do, which is mining. And I did a bunch of that tonight. Moyne says, we'll remember that. Maybe catch you in game sometime. Of course, please do. Absolutely, please do. Brianna Joy says, RSI, sure to know how to build a ship. I always love the way the Connies... Oh, I absolutely love the Constellation Taurus. It's by far my favorite Quantanium cargo hauler. I love this ship. It's a gunship. With 174 SCU, it's in a really neat space in the game right now. Adore this ship. Boy, so sunrise over Area 18, Hardcore, beautiful. It is, absolutely. And then, yeah, welcome aboard, Frank, for sure. Geesley says, nothing like listening to a stream with your eyes closed, hearing that SC music and that wonderful tactile keyboard sound. I might drift off. You know what, Geesley? I know exactly what you mean, sir. I have a clicky keyboard. I love my mechanical keyboard. As a matter of fact, you know, I'm embarrassed to say I was looking at my mechanical keyboard today, and I was like, you know, someday I was thinking maybe this fall I'll get a webcam, and I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm not necessarily sold on the idea, but maybe this fall I will. But I was just like, but I'll tell you what, this Corsair K70. This thing's gonna get cleaned before I put it on any kind of a stream. Like, you know, I'd really like to show you guys, like, you know, like the hand movements of, you know, like I do like those streams where they show the sticks, you know, like what you're doing with the sticks at the time. More than anything, I think that those can be helpful for people sometimes. You know, you know, but anyways, you know, anything that I can do to help, that's kind of the idea, right, you guys? I mean, that's kind of the goal. Oh boy, this is a cooldown, and this thing is rough. Oh my stars, and we're just cruising along here, you guys. This cooldown is brutal. We're gonna miss second quantum because of this thing. I don't have the XL1 in this thing. I forgot. It's funny. We're at 51. Are we gonna? We're slowing down though. Oh, we did make it. I think once you're within 50, you can't second quantum. So we'll go. We'll kind of cruise in here and have a little fun though. Watch. We'll boost up the max speed. Don't try this at home. No, please do, actually. I'm teasing. We're just boogieing, boogieing, boogieing. And what's going on here? All right, we're going to do this here. Alright, have a little fun. Call the old pad.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Gonna burn in there pretty hot. What? Had brought my gear back up. What was I doing there? Oh, hey. Not lined up. Yeah, it's true. Geesley's making an excellent point. It's probably not a great idea to just point at the station if you're burning in. Point taken, sir. I was having a little fun with it. Boink.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alrighty. We'll kill those engines. Let it go ahead and top off all the good stuff. Wayne Gang says, my base is also Area 18. I hang out at the same station all the time. Hope to see you there. Yeah, Arc L1 is really kind of my hangout. The one thing I like about Arc L1, obviously, is the refineries here. Lyria's close. The Aaron Halo's close. And then, for the most part, as you can imagine, I do like the fact that here on this... here on Area 8... here on... at Arc L1, there's a gun shop and an armor shop right next to each other. So, Geezy says, I say you were pointing at a bit of a gap there. Yeah, I was pointing at a little bit of a gap there, so. Well, hey, you guys, I just wanted to say how much I've enjoyed this evening. I wish I could spend a little more time, but truly, it's got a touch late. It's 1:38 in the morning, and I work first thing in the morning. So, thank you for coming along with me tonight. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I really can tell you how much I just am so overwhelmed with just being able to chat with you guys and having fun. Brianna Joy says, what kind of sticks do you use, and have you thought about releasing a key mapping? I have VKB Gladiator NXTs. It's the Gladiators, but they're the nice, there's like a premium ones. I love these Gladiator sticks, by the way. I do have the T16000, like I bought when Elite Dangerous had that the Thrustmaster T16000 or whatever 1600. That's got kind of that matching color set of the Elite Dangerous color set. But yeah, but I upgraded. I didn't want to spend the money on Verpals. I bought the VKB Gladiators, and that was kind of it. I really love these things. Anthony's like, dude, I just got here. I don't care about your job. Anthony, I'm so sorry. Welcome to the channel. Please do like, sub, hit the notification bell. I stream a couple of times a week. I don't have it scheduled now, especially when 3.16 drops. I'm going to be doing a ton of mining. Prospector mining, ROC mining, now that they got the ROC extraction bug fixed. All of that stuff. Yeah, these sticks are great. The VKB Gladiators, they're a very fair price. I mean, they're nowhere near the Verpals, but they're very much a step up over the T1600M, that Thrustmaster T1600. Geesley's like, it's only $12.38 here, man. You need to, come on. It is, yeah. I'm an old man, you guys. And I got to get some rest. So, anyways, thank you so big. Have a lovely evening. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you all around the verse.